Welcome to another live stream. It is like horrible weather outside today. Snow, woke up to a lot of snow, and then the nearby town here also got way more snow than we did. Oh, let me mute that. So I had a cancellation today. Unfortunately, it's no big deal. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to get here right now in this kind of weather. So anyhow, I had a piece of time allotted, so I figured, hey, let's go live. Let's hang out. What's going on, Juan? Appreciate you being here, man. I know it's just like an early stream, and I'm sure if you're not on a snow day or you are working, then you're not going to be able to be here. But that is no problem, guys. Also, while I'm running my mouth, I figured I'll throw up some tattooing as well, so you guys aren't completely bored while I talk. Anyhow, this is just some live footage from the other day, and I just figured it has to be better than just listening to me talk. So no less, guys, it's a Q&A. If you have any questions, throw it in the chat. I mean, if you have any questions for what I'm doing here in this video, if you have any questions for tattooing in general, I do not know everything, guys, but I will certainly do my best to help out in any way I can. Yeah. So anyhow, I'll talk about this tattoo I'm doing right now, unless you guys have any questions. And again, there's only a few people here right now, so we'll give it a little while. But this was a back piece I'm currently working on. We've been working on it for a couple months now. We got a little bit more to go, probably one, maybe two sessions left on this, but so far so good. I'm working on a merry face here, and I work back and forth between two different machines. I rock my Bishop One Packer and Bishop One Shader, and I usually have a liner loaded in one and a mag in the other. That way I can pick one up and just go, and then I can change it as we go. What's going on, Mark? What's up, 322? What's your name, 322? So I don't have to call you 322. I'm just trying to get to know y'all a little bit better. And some of you guys have your name in your I don't know, in your online name or whatever. It's like Juan and Mark. Of course, I'm Dave, guys. But again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. So in this particular piece, you don't have to ask about this tattoo. I just threw this up so that we're not sitting here bored because it's just me talking. So, all right, let's see. We got Nick here. Hey, Dave. Love the vids, man. Thank you for the support. Truly do. Appreciate the support. Let's see. All right, here we go. Dave, I have a question. How did you keep your machine clean before having an autoclave like your pen style machine? I don't have an autoclave. I don't use an autoclave. I have some videos showing how I wrap this thing up, but I use, I don't know if you can see behind me. There's a bit of blue right there. That's some that cling film or whatever. I wrap the grip in that, the front of the grip and all around the sides, and then that gets wrapped up as well. And then the bag goes over the top. So you will see sometimes there'll be like a little sliver of my machine popping out right there. So that I guess that part is exposed. But no, I don't use an autoclave. And if I don't want to do that, I have disposable grips as well. I use sometimes. Only reason I don't like the disposable grips is they're a little bit light, and so I lose a little bit of that weight that I'm used to having. But no less, if you are wrapping your stuff properly and you're cleaning your stuff afterwards, I use Cavicide, and you do it right, you shouldn't have any problems. But good question, though. That was something I really was worried about in the beginning, and I thought you really, really had to have an autoclave, and it's just not necessary. If you're using tubes and stuff like that, great. And if you do have an autoclave, then you and your grip is autoclavable, then you can worry a lot less about sanitize, making sure that that grip is wrapped and what have you. All right, what's going on, Dan? Non-critical items don't need to be clapped anymore thanks to disposable carts. Exactly, Dan. That's essentially where that comes from. And I know that when you're getting into this stuff, it's like, oh crap, everybody wants to do it right, at least for the most part. We want to be clean. So I really appreciate that. Believe me, I was the same way. So yeah, this disposable stuff makes it good. I even seen they have disposable tattoo machines now. Okay, I saw that on the YouTube channel, Tattoo Talk, Shop Talk or whatnot. I saw them on Instagram there. I think stories. He's going to be doing a review on them. They're just a box of 8 disposable tattoo machines. So it's getting even crazier when it comes to the disposable market. All right. Let's see. So what do we got here, JL? Okay, that's what I've been doing. Just making sure I was cleaning my machine properly. Sounds like I have. Though, thank God. Right? Exactly. And here's the other thing too, is I put that plastic over the, here, I'll grab a machine real quick here. I put the plastic, oh gosh, over this grip and around the sides here, right? And then wrap it, bam, bam, bam. And then when I go to tattoo, I puncture a hole for the needle and then put that in. Now, what you still might get is that plastic and all that in there will keep anything from coming back. Obviously, you have a membrane as well in your cartridges, but still, you may get a little bit in there. So I always take this off, always spray it and wipe it down, let it dry. You can use calcified wipes, the spray, whatever. But go that little extra mile. And every once in a while, I'll take the whole machine apart, take the motor out, clean stuff and whatnot. So yeah, because you can be doing things right and it can still get nasty in here. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Who we got? Dan, not critical. Giovanni. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate all you guys who are here right now on this random snow day, Thursday morning live stream with no notification. Okay, Tanya, notification came late. Stream. Thanks for being here. Blah blah blah. I tattooed in prison. All right. Is it pretty easy to transition from at home made single needles? I think you're gonna have a fantastic transition. I mean, it's like building a house with hand tools, vice electric tools, in my opinion. You might be more apt to run single needle operations, maybe not single needle, but maybe like 5 bug pin round liners, tight 3 bug pin round liners. You're probably going to get comfortable using that sort of stuff. But once you realize just how much stuff is out there compared to what you were doing in prison, you don't even need a high-end machine. There are so many machines at affordable price ranges that are going to do the job. It just depends on, what you want to do. Same with woodworking or tools. If you want, you can just, I bought a lot of Ryobi stuff in the beginning. So, it's a little bit more cheaper of a product, but it does the job. But as you move along, you're going to maybe want to fine tune your work, really try to push for the higher end tools and equipment. It's no different in tattooing. It's the same thing. They're all going to do the job. Some might just do it a little bit better. All right. What do we got? Yeah, the dagger, Dan says. I wipe down my stuff religiously. Absolutely, Mark. Wipe down your equipment. Clean everything, I usually wait. I clean up a little bit while the client's there. Once they leave, then it goes full on cleaning. We do the best job we can do. That's literally it. And that's the same thing I say when I'm tattooing. When I let my clients know, I will give you 100%. I will do everything, my best job I can. That's all you can do. But if you're not putting any effort into trying to improve yourself, then your best job will, might not be enough at times. All right, here we go. Hey, Dave, can you describe the difference between gray and silver wash, please? I have no idea. I'm sorry. I said in the beginning, I don't know all the answers. And that is so true that I don't know all the answers. And I have no idea what silver gray wash is or silver wash. Excuse me. I could make some guesses, but I just don't know. If somebody wants to shed a little bit of light on this, if you know about this, maybe I should know about it. I'd like to learn about it. Sounds kind of cool. But unfortunately, I am sorry. I don't know. All right. At Christian, I wasn't paid for the review, and I have like 5 different CNC models, and 2 or 3 of them are my go-to machines. Personally liked number 4 and 5 model, I think. Okay. I didn't know what I was clicking on when I clicked on that, but yeah, I do enjoy CNC machines. They make a decent machine, a decent price. Their prices are going up a little bit, but so is everybody's. And I think that more people are seeing that they're a decent machine and make a decent product. I mean, you got to try them. I mean, they have a lot of products. Just like every company, they have quite a few different products. Some, nah. Some, yes. Some people really like the XWE. I like the XWE as well. And I like the Q2. Those are my 2 favorites. I've tried several of their machines, but the Q2 and the Wii Plus or just the XWii in general are pretty good. I could see maybe the XWii being more of a shading machine and the CNC Q2 more of a liner packer. So you can have a combination set up right there. But again, I know after I put out that CNC video, I learned so much more about the machines because some of you guys have really dug deep into these. But after using a lot of machines, I'm still going to stand on what I said. Even with that standard 3.5 stroke, it's a good solid machine. You don't have to get it in the green and the silver or whatever. Get it in the black because I don't believe there's any difference other than the color. And maybe if you're, into that, so be it. All right. I love the rework you did on that back piece. Yeah, this thing has been was interesting. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can go and check out the beginning of this. But this poor guy, Joe, fantastic individual, got this tattoo of this like devil woman long time ago, and he's just been suffering with it for a long time. So sometimes it's better to rework stuff than it is to cover it up, because this was an entire back piece. So we went in and we reworked the oh, hey guys, Fear the Beard, I'm wearing it right there minus the little fur burrs that are on there. Fear the Beard hoodies are available. I think there's a link in the description to my website. You can check those out. I think it's in the description. But anyhow, Fear the Beards. If you want to support the shop myself, Death Punching Shop, there's some hoodies down there. It's the cold season, so that's what we're into. Yeah, so anyhow, we ended up reworking this piece and just really wanted to design a whole lot of stuff in this so that your eye wasn't so drawn to the center. And I think that's working out pretty good here. And he sits like a champ, man, like a champ. So it's been going good. But thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. All right. He also says, I'm going to pick up the CNC Q2. What stroke should I get if it will be the only machine to start with? Just stick with the 3.5 millimeter stroke. That's my opinion. I know everyone's got opinions, but you're asking me, so I'm going to say 3.5 millimeter stroke. I think it hits hard enough. I think you're going to be able to do a lot of stuff with it. 3.5 is pretty good all around stroke. Yeah, and then you can modify it from there, but just my opinion. All right, I'm looking to upgrade from my, all right, let me throw this on the screen. Kayla says, I'm looking to upgrade from my first cheap machine. Would you recommend a Q2 or something else? That's all going to come down to your budget, to be quite honest, because there are so many machines right now. I remember when I started tattooing, the high-end machines, the ones that, we would be like, ooh, I really want that. They were $600 at $599. You had the wands. Yeah, the wands too, but they weren't quite out yet. The Hawks, the machines, like the good ones, they were right around $600. Well, now that's changed, in my opinion. Now they're like $1,000, $1,200. The Ultron 2 is like an $8,000 to $1,000 machine. The wands with the batteries included are like $1,000+. So it all depends on your budget. If your budget's around $200, yeah, I think it's a good option. I really do. I've tried a lot of different machines from a lot of different brands, and some of them, they're all going to a lot of them will fall into the same category as like, yeah, they're all decent. I think the Q2 does, but for me, it's just higher up on that scale. A lot of things I like about it. Sometimes it comes down to the wrappability of the machine. The grip is large, so my wraps go right around it nicely. Stupid stuff. Yeah. So anyhow, but if you're looking for something else, maybe the XWii as well. But again, I'm not just sitting here trying to show for CNC. I genuinely like their machines. Not all of them, a couple of them, and their CNC police cartridges. For the bang for money, blah blah blah, pretty decent. So yeah, I would look into that. Unless you have a higher budget, then you can look into the wand series. But in my opinion, you have the packer and you have the shader. I don't really mess with the liner. It's just got a heck of a stroke on it. A punch, some people really like it. I don't need it for my style, but I like having the packer for lining, color packing, and the shader strictly for shading. It just allows me more time in the skin to monkey around, and I've gotten used to it. So, but most people prefer the packer if they're only going to get one. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm not moving fast enough through these. Yo, what's up, man? I've been far too long since I've caught your stream. Hey, well, thanks for being here, guys. Give the stream a like. There's what, 47, 50 of us here. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I just have this stuff streaming over here so that you guys aren't bored listening to me talk. You can at least, somewhat watch me tattoo, even though my hand and head are usually in the way 99% of the time. But okay. What's your Ryobi version of the tattoo machines you own? Literally, that's what I'm just talking about. I would probably say, because I don't mind Ryobi. I use them all the time, but I also have DeWalt equipment as well, which is a little bit of a step up. Things are a little bit more tight, you know what I mean? But if I would say the Q2, the Wii, even some of these. I mean, you can get into some of these like fly-by-night companies, and I have taken on a couple of their machines. I'm just curious. A couple of videos ago, I did a review on that Incan, a pretty decent machine. Nothing wrong with it. It was even a direct drive, and I think they were coming in at like $150. But it just depends. I've used the CNC Q2 for like a year. I've used the XWE in tattoos, so I trust those, and so that would be my opinion. All right. Let's see. Ba-bum. Let me look up the exact one. All right, let's see what this says. I'm having a hard time placing the stencil. The ink is just smudges over the skin. Are my lines too thick on paper? Are there any tricks can do to improve? What the heck? You can do on the Procreate. Okay. Jeez, I'm sorry. English was my only language, but it's also I suck at it. All right, so you're having a hard time placing the stencil, and it sounds like you can place the stencil. It sounds like you're getting a bunch of smudging. I'm guessing. I mean, you literally say smudges over the skin. The problem, in my opinion, again, I don't mean to say my opinion every time, but I just want to make sure you guys understand. This is just my 2 cents. Is that you're leaving the whatever stencil solution you have? It's too wet. It's too wet. Rub that. I mean, I'm dang near giving these people back massage or whatever, arm massages. I tell them this is the calm before the storm, So boom, I'm rubbing the stencil solution in there. I use Anchored. It just sticks a little bit better. I've been on stencil stuff for the longest time, but I used Anchored about a few months ago to get a wrap and I was just like, oh shoot, that holds a little bit better. So anyhow, with that out of the way, you want to put it on. All right. You don't want it to be wet, just a little bit tacky, just a little bit. When you drag your hand down, you feel a little bit of a drag, right? Rub it in real good, or you can rub it until it's almost completely gone. Then get a little bit more and do it again, and then get it to where it's just a little bit tacky. Then you stick your stencil on there and peel it off. Also, the stencil solution you're using can cause you to get a little bit of smudges. There was one brand that I used. I think it's Electrum, and I know a lot of people like Electrum, but to me, that smudges. So that can be something as well. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I am trying to scroll through here. Okay, somebody was saying that they feel like that's just another term for gray wash, regional kind of thing. Okay, so we were talking about silver washes versus gray washes. I had no idea what that is. Dan is with me. It sounds like he has no idea either. And it's probably just a term for a gray wash. Maybe they're adding some little bits of white and gray or something like that to it, which I do anyhow. All right. So here we go. This is from Chris. He says the Q2 with the 4mm stroke is dope. So if you're interested, hit Chris up, talk Chris. He uses the 4mm stroke. I've only ever used a 3.5mm stroke in the Q2s ever. So I gotta know when you just don't know, and I just don't know. Let's see. What's up, Juan? Let's see. Hey, love the vids. Thanks, Nick. Dave, I have a question. How did you keep your... Oh, wait. Where am I at? Oh, shoot. I'm way off. Sorry, guys. Let me catch back up to where I was. I am behind here. All right. Sorry, guys. I am just trying to figure out. I'm a little bit behind on the questions here. Okay, JL says, my name is Drew, by the way, but just one more question. I have a CNC Q2. Did you ever have trouble with certain cartridges? Yes. Being a super tight fit, like to lock. Yes. And it is the Big Wasp cartridges. They're the only cartridge that I had a serious problem getting in and out of that machine. In fact, I've had a hard time getting those out of several machines, and I don't use them anymore. I tried them out a couple years ago, and because I know a lot of you guys are looking, hey, where can I get my needles? So I test stuff out for you guys. Is this decent? Is it not? And they're okay. I have a boatload of them now, but they're just sitting there. No, they're manufactured poorly. There's little tabs on the sides where they go in and lock that aren't shaved down like they should be. Should be flush, flat, and cylindrical, whatever. And they're not. So in manufacturing, in the end, they're cut corners there. And so what you have to do if you want it to fit really good is have like a razor blade there, pull out your needle, shave down the two little nubs, and then screw it in or then pop it in. They're the only brand I've had an issue with. So if you're not using those, I can't speak for you because I really don't know. Okay, I got used to moving only my wrist. How can I correct this? Are you talking about when you're lining per se? I think when you're shading, feel free to, do whatever you kind of want to do. But if you're talking about lining, I don't know. Just stop moving your wrists and move your arms. So you want the most stable position possible. Plant your hand. And then if you're trying to bring around, let's say I'm trying to come around this way, I'm going to move my shoulder. See how this is, you know what I'm saying? If I move my wrist, and you can move your wrist a little bit. A combination of the two is not out of the ordinary. But if you come from the most stable spot possible, is going to be your shoulder, your elbow, this area. So, that's kind of the goal. But again, learn what you can do, figure out what you should, and then just do what works best for you. All right. All right, I'll throw this up, guys. You can read that one. Here we have Dan asking about the EXO, the Flux clones. I know nothing about them. Let's see. Mass machines. Kayla says, I have a lot of mass machines that are pretty good too, but that P5 is always set up when I'm working, right? I know a lot of people have asked me to check out the mass machines, and I even have one here. Somebody lent me, but I just haven't gotten around to checking them out. Sometimes it's hard to test machines long term because you have to use them long term, and when you get into a position where you're just trying to give somebody the best tattoo, it can be hard to feel the need to risk all of that by trying something completely new. But I don't mind showing a machine, giving my initial thoughts on it. But long term, that's a hard thing to do. You'd only be able to test like one machine a year, maybe that. So, all right. Darjan, I probably just butchering your name. I read that the silver wash is like gray wash, but with white and black without mixing solution. Oh, okay. So this is opaque grays then, essentially. So if no mixing solution, you're pretty much, you might have like 5 drops of black and then you fill the rest up with white. The whole cap, mix it up. That would be an opaque, and maybe they're calling that silver. Maybe by the end of this, we'll all know what the heck it is. Best white ink to use, without a doubt, is Star Bright White. I just ordered some more this morning. It's not cheap, but no point in cheaping out. None of this crap's cheap, so definitely look into Star Bright White. That's what I mix with my gray washes. That's what I use for my white. All of it. All right. Somebody says 420 dynamic works pretty well. Well, there you go. I've never tried that. Has anyone tried this kind of gray wash style? It's a good question. Hopefully somebody has. I have not tried. Actually, just a little bit. Actually, I used some opaque grays that I mixed up on my own a while back for a color piece. But when I do my black and gray, as some of you may know, I do 100% black in one cap, and I use standard dynamic black, 100% black in the first cap, 20 drops in the second cap, 10 drops in the third cap, 5 drops in the fourth cap, and then 2 drops in the 5th cap. Then I add nowadays about 10 to 12 drops of white to each cap, and then I fill it up with distilled water and mix it up. I mean, that's what I'm using over here in this in the video that you're watching right now as well. Okay. All right. Kawika. One of these days I'm gonna figure this name out. Hey Dave, what's a good battery pack to get? Okay, good question. If you look right now, the battery pack I'm using in this video, this might be hard to see, but what the heck is this battery pack called? Because I use 2 different types of batteries currently. I use the critical wireless, but they're expensive. Close to $250 per battery. I think it's extremely overpriced. But I use those, and then I also use, forgive me, I'm in my pajamas, guys. It's a snow day here. So, what is this? I use this one right here. The Bronc. Ooh, I got a video on this. If you're interested, you can go check it out. But I've had no problems at all with this battery. It holds a very long charge. It works fantastic. This goes in my shader, and the critical goes into my Bishop One Packer. For whatever reason, this will not work with my Packer because it has like some overload protection, but it works with everything else. So those are that. And I did try to go update my links. There's links, well, maybe not in this video, but there's usual links in my description to some stuff. And about a few months ago, I went to update those. And man, there are so many batteries out there, and there's so many mixed reviews on everything out there. It's so difficult to figure out what is a good product. So I do feel for you guys sometimes. I do my best to bring you what I can, but I can't do all the products. Excuse me. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I'm not sure what this says. What's that? Hey, I was wondering how you know when you are ready to move into realism. I feel confident in my lines. I've tried shading on fake skin, but real skin took the ink so differently. It did. Real skin is absolutely going to take the ink differently than fake skin. But don't fall into the trap of being so anxious to tattoo real skin that you skip a step. If you join us on Sundays, which I think I've seen you there, Zach, we talk about this a bit when we're reviewing people's work, and you can tell when we're following a particular person, and week after week they're sending in fake skins, they're getting better and better and better, and then they do a tattoo on human skin after months, and it's like, okay, they do something small, looks decent, but you still see some flaws. So all that practice equates to a whole lot of mistakes that didn't have to happen, but there's still going to be mistakes because there's still obviously a process to get used to tattooing human skin. So don't rush it. My question to you is, do you draw realism? Is that something you do, or semi-realism, whatever you want to call it? Is that something you're proficient in? Is that something you draw? If it is, your lining is good, your shading is getting better, you understand your shades, your different tones, when to use a light, a medium, a dark, and whatnot, then yeah, maybe you're ready, but I wouldn't rush it. I would make sure that if you're going to do a piece, let's say you're like, okay, you're going to do this Mary face, whatever. And so do your stencil, print your stencil out, whatever, put it on the fake skin, tattoo it on the fake skin. Okay. Does it look fantastic on the fake skin? If it does, then maybe, maybe put that in your back of your mind. Okay, maybe I'm ready to move on to tattoo human skin with this particular piece. But if in the beginning, I practiced every single piece I did, and still I wasn't happy with most of them, but it was better that I practiced them prior to tattooing them, right? Don't rush into it. Take your time. Treat it as a very, it's a thing. This is forever on somebody. So, like I said, I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but that would be my info on that. Let's see. Any tips for the quadrant equalizer proton rotor machine? I got this to upgrade from my Mastora. I have a hard time adjusting needle depth, It's very hard to turn. I don't have any information on the quadrant equalizer. I've never used it. I've seen it's been out for a while though. Yeah. Kayla's every skin is different. Really, it absolutely is. That's why in the beginning you're like, I got this. I figure, that one tattoo came out good. And then the next one, you're like, what just happened? And that's that one step forward, two steps back. And you realize that, okay, it's not, I don't have this down. It is harder than I thought it was. All right. Moving on to the next one. Jason says, hey, bro, question when shading. I always hear them say just brush the top of the skin. So does that mean you don't hit the dermis and just tattoo the top layer? Yeah, I don't understand that either. People say, oh, just hit the top. That's why I like the wand shader, because I treat it like I do every other. Like it has a bit of a bog to it. It's a softer hit. So I'm pushing those needles. I'm pushing the needles in. And yeah, you have to get the ink to the dermis, right? And if you're only just peppering that stuff on the top, then when it heals, that top layer will fall off and you will lose a bit of it. I've even heard people who do multiple sessions because the first session, like 70% of it takes and the other doesn't. And then they come back and really fine tune it. I mean, maybe that's the way you do it. My clients wouldn't be too happy with that. So no, you got to put it in. You got to put the ink in. That's why it's good to understand your tone. So instead of trying to take black and be like, well, I want this area to be lighter, so I'm going to gently put this in. Well, that's not really going to work out for you. You need to choose the tone for that spot and pack it in, if you will. It's all this stuff is very kind of difficult to explain. But yes, don't get distracted by this, put it in just a little bit on the top and then it falls out. Good on you to think about this. Yes, it has to go into the dermis. I think that's the right layer. Yeah, epidermis is the top, dermis, and then the bottom. I don't know. Anyhow, it's got to go to the sweet spot. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm new and learning. Well, we wish you all the best, man. It is a journey. And Kayla says, get some Stencil stuff. It makes a huge difference. It does. Also, if you Stencil stuff, or I'm telling you, look at Anchored. They both stick a stencil really well, but in my opinion, Anchored, when you're going around like a curved surface. So if I'm wrapping from, this camera's hard to figure out, from here to here, and I want to go like this. A lot of times if I'm using stencil stuff, I'll go to stick it on and it'll kind of come off a little bit, and then I'll push it back down. Then I run the risk of getting a double print. With the Anchored, I don't know why it just sticks a little bit better. I don't get that lift off going around areas. So anyhow, that's just my opinion. But for the longest time, I was only stencil stuff. And if that's what you use, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right, Kayla's also talking about putting the stencil solution on. When I was talking about this before, about how you need to rub that stencil solution in till it's tacky, almost absorbed by the skin. And if you take it too far to, you're like, oh, it's not quite, it's fully, I can't speak sometimes. You can always add a thin layer again and rub that in until you get to the right spot. More is better, but if it's wet, then your stencil is just going to smudge up and it's going to suck. All right. All right, let's check out this next question from Zach. If you're self-taught but have a good portfolio of tattoos, will this make it a lot harder to get a tattoo job in a shop, or will they not care as long as you have clean tattoos? For me, all right, I can't speak for anybody else. I literally have no idea, guys. I've worked in like one other shop, and then I just, went off on my own and fought the good fight. So, if you came to my shop, right, if I was looking to hire people or whatever, or bring people on, I would not care. I wouldn't care if you learned to tattoo on your own at home. You show me a portfolio, it has a nice work in it. You show me some drawings of yours as well. Some whatever. If you like to do color stuff, then show me that. Show me your color tattoos. Show me your color drawings as well. Make sure you have a mixture of both. Then the final thing that's going to come down to is seeing you set up a station and tattoo, right? I wouldn't personally be looking for some wild perfection, but I want to make sure you're not some hot mess who, you do good work, but your stuff's scattered all over the place, and there's no concept, there's no process, right? So for me, if you do clean tattoos, they look good, or I see a ton of potential, or I see a ton of potential in the character of your being, and I can tell you have an artistic bone, then yes, you would be a candidate if I were looking for somebody. The other thing too, guys, is understand that person's going to pass on everything they know to you, and they're going to be around you a lot. So if they don't get along with you, I don't care how good your work is. I don't care how good it is. If you are going to be in a shop with somebody and you have an attitude or you have a certain way about you that the other person is just not going to jive with, that alone can lose you an apprenticeship if that's what you're looking for. So again, just put yourself in the shoes of a person who might be bringing you on. They're going to invest a lot of time in you. How are you going to be? Are you going to be grateful? Are you not? Are you going to, you get what I'm saying? So hopefully that helped you out, Zach. All right. 322 just wants to say thanks to everyone for your advice, helping him out. Let's see. Also help with keeping the stencil from smudging. Wipe the area down with alcohol. The rub stencil stuff in. It will help it dry faster and stick better. Yes, Rodney, you're correct. Now, here's the thing, though. Make sure that you wipe the area down with the alcohol first. Okay, clean it real good. Then shave the skin. Then put your stencil solution on. Because if you shave it, then rub that sucker down with alcohol, that's going to burn. So make sure you don't skip that vital step. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's just see what Dan says. Dan says, I have a Q2 at 3 millimeter, Q2 at 4 millimeter. Good backup setup. I run 2 clone exos at 3.5 millimeter and 4 millimeter. I have a 4.6 millimeter cam coming as well to see if it packs any different than the 4. The exos are my favorite. There you go. All right. Chris says, most use gray wash / black dilution percentage ink caps when tattooing. Now, I just shared this. I'll share it one more time with you guys. My setup is I believe it's a 5-cap setup. I use dynamic black, star bright white, and distilled water. And my setup is, my first cap is 100% black. My second cap is 20 drops of black. Third cap is 10. Fourth is 5. And fifth is 2 drops. Then I put about 12 drops of star bright white in each cap, minus the 100% black one. And then I fill the rest up with distilled water and I mix it up. That's my setup. And I use it. I use the same setup all the time now. I really enjoy that setup. Let's see. Do you lightly outline with a 2-dropper before shading or shade as you go? I will shade as I go, and if I want a line to be there, and I know I don't want it to be just a black line. So if we take the nose over here on Mary, the side of her nose there, it may appear to be a black line, but that's not. That's like a 5-drop kind of lined in there, and I'm going to build off of that, and it's going to be kind of dark coming off of it. But if I'm unsure if I want to visually see that line or not, I'll just approach it with a lighter shade and line it that way, and then you can always go back and darken that up if you need be. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully I understand you guys' questions properly, because sometimes I don't. All right. Smoke, what's going on, man? Good morning, everyone. Hope your day is going great. Thanks for being here, Smoke. Always appreciate it, man. MVP Danik as well. Danik, what's up, dude? Great to have you both here, man. All right. So we got Amanda, or nope, what does this say? Armand. Hey, Dave, I was wondering what you thought was a good power supply. I have a cheap mini from Amazon right now, but I'd like to get a better one. If it works, then rock it, in my opinion. But again, I like to have options for you guys. I use the critical wireless power supplies. They're just really expensive, and I don't necessarily think they're worth the squeeze. They were sent to me a couple years ago for review when they first came out, and of course, I like them. They're great. They work good. One of them's got a little bit of a connection issue, and here I just haven't gotten around to fix it. I was about to get around to fixing that, and then Bronk sent me this, which I did a video on maybe a couple months ago or so, and I really like this. I think these are like $100. Good quality power supply. I really do like these. Be careful though. They work on all my machines except for the wand packer. So I use this on my wand shader. That's the weirdest thing. And I hit them up and I asked them about it, and they were like, "Yeah, that's a safety thing. It's like an over surge, and they don't want to get rid of it because safety." Okay, fine, fair enough. But there's so many out there. It's hard to know what is decent when it comes to the wireless power supplies. I know it might be best to just try one out. So again, if you notice my head is in the way of this camera, this is the story of my life. I try to record a lot of my tattoos, but unfortunately, when I go to look at them, I realize my head is in the way, like 90% of them. And I don't like to compromise the tattoo for a video. So if I need to be in this position to see, I'm going to be in that position to see. And my head's just going to be in the way because tattoo comes first. The video is just some fun aftermath stuff. Have you used UV ink before? It's the ink that glows in the black light. I did. I have it in my leg. I was going to do a video about this months ago, but I just haven't. I don't know why. I think I was going to do more. I think I had a tattoo I was going to put some UV into on a person, but I just veered away from it. I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't like the way it goes in the skin. I mean, it's okay, but I just didn't know where it played a role in the tattooing world, because I wouldn't want to do an entire tattoo with this UV ink. It would just look crap unless the UV light was on it, and then it would, look pretty decent. But so I thought maybe the UV ink could be used to like go around certain things, to pop, what have you. So there's that. But no, I mean, I might put that video together just so I can give my two pennies, my thoughts on it, and show you guys it does work. It's in my leg and it does work. It's been months. Maybe I'll get a little updated footage to see, how it's looking now. I haven't put it under a black light in a while. All right. Let's see. All right, here we go. Danik, right on, bud. Danik said, I tested 3 different batteries, 50, 100, 150, with the voltmeter too, and they all produce the same amount of volts. The only difference is how long they last. Very well. In my experience as well, if you're only dealing with how long the batteries last, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I have never had a battery die on me in the middle of a tattoo. Not to say it doesn't happen. It's just I throw mine on the charger after every tattoo. I mean, sometimes long days, long sessions, or maybe you got a long tattoo and then another tattoo after that. And yeah, they could start to die. But if you have a couple, shouldn't really be that big of a deal. So I would always suggest getting 2. You might not need to, but if one shits the bed on you, you have another one. Like if it just craps out and doesn't work, you have another one. And if it doesn't crap out, then you have 2 in case one dies. But it is good to know that 50, 100, 150, they're all reading the same stuff. Okay. Danik. I'm always up at 5 a.m. even if I don't work. You know what? Danik, how old are you? Are you late 30s, early 40s? He's probably like, I don't know. And I'm probably not going to know until I get way down to the bottom of these comments. I'll find out if you answer this. But lately, I'm mid 30s and I'm waking up so early. And I don't need to wake up this early. But once my eyeballs open, it's like, holy crap, I'm awake at 5 a.m., 4:30, 5:30, 6. Sometimes I get lucky and maybe make it till 7 a.m. But geez, the whole time I was in the Marine Corps, hated waking up. I had 15 alarms. I had to damn near blow the house up to get me to wake up. But I was always on time. It was just a process. So anyhow, tangent there. I hear the older you, right around 40s is when you require the least amount of sleep. I don't know if that's true, but it's starting to become a reality. Let's see. Smoke, what do you say? I tailed my wife. Oh, you talked your wife into learning tattooing with me. Okay. Oh, sorry for my horrible reading. Awesome. I've tried to do the same. My wife does a little bit of tattooing with me. She doesn't have the patience for it, but she helps a lot when it comes to everything involved. Um, yeah, somebody was like, and not that I want to go to Ink Man. I don't think I'm on that level by any means, but I said I can only go if my wife comes because I'm so dependent on her. She helps me with so much, you know. All right, talk to my wife into it. Danny or Smoke, you just didn't want to be lonely while you were learning. I got you. Okay. Hey, Smoke, what's up, man? Sorry, I'm just now getting down to this area. I'm looking forward to. If you guys got questions, go ahead and throw them in. I am working my way down. We're getting a little bit closer. By the way, hi again, Smoke. Glad you guys could be here. I guess it's early where you're at, so sorry about that. Smoke is saying Moms is great ink. I've never used Moms. I don't know anything about it. All right, what do we got here? Jacob says, well, what voltage should I run with an 8 bug pin 1 round liner? I tried 7.5, but no ink was coming out and the skin was getting pretty irritated. That is one heck of a small needle. I don't even use single. I don't have any need, all right, personally, to use a 1 round liner, let alone a standard number 12 round liner, nor a 10 bug pin round liner, let alone a 0.8 bug pin round liner, single needle. I'd run that a little bit slower, man. That's piercing the skin at such a rate because it's like, again, taking a balloon. If you have a balloon and you take a fat needle or a pencil and you try to pop, it's going to take a little bit of pressure. You take a tiny little needle, it's gonna go right through that thing so quickly. So maybe try slowing the voltage down a little bit, maybe even a little less pressure as well, because it's not taking much effort at all to pierce the skin. So anyhow, also guys, we might be going live later. I've been promising my wife a tattoo for a while now. She usually give her a new tattoo on her birthday. It's coming up soon, but again, it's a snow day and I had a cancellation today. So I might be tattooing her later today. So keep an eye out. There might be another live stream today. Yeah. All right. Brian says, how much do you charge for tattoo? Do you work by hours, by the tattoo? Nowadays, I work by the hour. Sometimes I'll price out a tattoo, but even working by the hour, a lot of times I will lose money because I've gotten a bit quicker. But it is what it is. I pass the savings on to the client, and that's how I try to maintain my clientele is by, look, I've gotten faster, but I still charge the same amount. So it's $100 an hour. If it takes me 5 hours, it takes 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever. And it's been good. That's the way I like doing it, and I prefer. Some people want to know, hey, how much they need a ballpark. So I ballpark how many hours I think it's going to be, and a lot of times I will ballpark higher than lower, so that they are not shocked that, oh man, it took an extra hour than he said it would. But a lot of times I'll say it's going to take 5 and it takes 4 hours, so there's a little bit more, right? So I do lose some people because I think, oh, that's too high, but it's just it's a weird game you have to play. And you're better off just sticking to your guns. But if you're, whatever. We can go down a whole road on that. It's a very tricky thing to deal with. Danny, 40 years old. Man, I knew it. Yeah, buddy, you're right in that pocket of your body don't require much sleep, so you're waking up. Yep. That's where I feel myself coming to at the current state. All right. Okay, so Smoke's saying, I just doing all black tattoos on myself, so I use Mom's, and it's awesome stuff. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad to hear Mom's black is working out good for you. Like I said, if it's not broken, why fix it? If you hear of something really good, yeah, give it a try. Maybe you like it. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Oni. I'm a novice tattooist, just starting up my inquit. Okay. Is the portfolio drawing X piece on skin? What would be a good ratio to showcase so I get an apprenticeship? Gotta read this again. Um, well, draw what you like to draw. Show like, if you're into black and gray, draw black and gray stuff. Like make that your main squeeze, right? And then at the same time, bring in some color work, bring in some other stuff, show other things, be like, hey, look, this is the main thing. This is where my heart lies, but I can also do these other things and I can continue my education in these other things to get better at it. If you would like me to be more of an all-rounder, maybe they're like, no, I want you to, just stick with what you're good at, black and gray, go down that road. It just depends on who you're talking to. But yeah, focus on what you like to do and then do a little bit of other stuff so you can show somebody that you have what it takes to do a little bit of everything. I hope I answered your question. Like I said, sometimes I read them incorrectly. I don't quite get it right. All right. Chris says, Eternal ink is the best for color. I use Eternal ink. I really enjoy using Eternal ink. I'll bring that back up in a minute, guys. I just got to check my other screen over here in a moment, and that slows me down having that there. But I also use some other stuff as well. I use Intense and Eternal, and I like them both, to be honest. So let's jump over to, while I'm at it, I'm going to we take a break in this tattoo I'm doing, so I'm just kind of speeding it up. And let's see here. Come on. All right. Oh, sorry, guys. 1 second. I'm trying to get you guys some more background footage here. All right. Here we go. Let me see. Let's throw this on the screen. Bam. There we go. All right. So what you missed is I put white in the other side. I put white in Mary. I put white in everything. But the camera's just all over the place for a little while there. So I thought, well, we'll jump over here and get a good upper angle. And we're putting that skull in. So anyhow, with all that being said, let's move on. Yes, Eternal ink. I do love Eternal ink, but there are plenty other ones too. No. My wife is doing almost as good as me already. Oh, man. That is rough when the wife is right on board, especially if you've been putting in the time and she comes along and whipping your butt. Let's see. All right, Danik. Good to see you, buddy. He says, I have to go now. I'm tattooing a palm tree on my wife today. Right on, man. Wish me luck so she doesn't divorce me. Take care, Danik. Good luck, brother. Hopefully she does not divorce you. So we have a quick question from AZ. Quick question. You go as deep as shading as you would with a liner, right? Even soft shading. Yes, be careful when you're like referring to your shading in the form of lining because they feel different. But in essence, yes, you have to put the ink, no matter if it's a light shade or not, in the proper depth. But with lining, it feels a little different. So, but nonetheless, yes, you do. Shallow will fall out. That's right. All right. Ba, ba, ba. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Salty Scrunt says, I use dynamic ink. I use dynamic, and just not speaking today. I use dynamic ink as well. Ba, ba. So you don't think about going flat with the rates. What do you mean by that? Do you mean like, hey, somebody wants a tattoo and I say, it'll be $200? That'll be $150? In a lot of ways, there are moments when I do. But for the sake of that last question, it was just easier to say $100. There are some tattoos that I know would take me about 1 hour, but are worth more than $100. So there are moments when I will charge $150, $160. There are times when a tattoo takes me longer and I will give a person a deal. It just depends on the client. You know what I mean? Let's be real here. We hook people up occasionally. I'm not giving away crazy deals all the time. You know what I mean? It's just, it's 2 hours. We took a couple breaks, man. 180. There's stuff like that. And there are times when it goes the other way as well, depending on the situation. You can also do half day, full days, People can pay you, whatever your half day rate is, and how long is that? Is it your half day 3 hours and a full day 6 hours, 8 hours? You have to work that out and also work out the pricing. I don't do knockout sessions. That is pretty much a waste of your time, even though most knockout sessions are going to run about 6, 7 hours, because that's usually about as long as most people really can take ink in one location. And if you are doing knockout sessions, tell your client that's fine, but I'm not moving all around your body. I'm not going to spend 2 hours here. Oh, this is really sore now, so let's go down to your leg for another couple hours, because they can just go for a long period of time. No, if you're going to feel the need to have to do a knockout session, let them know, like, all right, but we're going to stay here, whatever. I'll work my way down, whatever. So anyhow, just my thoughts on that sort of thing. Do what you think is fair. That's true. Yes. This is really good advice, actually. This is be fair to yourself and the client. That's it. And you got to be careful, though. You have to be careful. You don't want to undercharge. You don't want to overcharge. You just find what you think is a fair price. It's like, I'm kind of slow. I'm in the beginning stages. People do want to get tattooed, but I mean, my work is okay. Maybe I'll do like $60 an hour. So you work for 4 hours and they give you $250. It's like, hey, maybe that's not bad. Depends on where you're at, the shop, the percentages. Are you working from home? We talk about all of it here. So yeah, I think that's very fair logic. Be fair to yourself, be fair to your client. What do you think is a decent deal for the art you gave them, for the time that was spent? And eventually, as time goes on, you will go, you know what? No, it's $100 an hour. It's $200 an hour. It's $150 an hour. It's a flat rate, whatever. You're going to know your value. And I'm telling you guys, I've been tattooing not terribly long. I think like 4 years. We might be like 4.5. No, probably about 4 years now. And just in the last year have I found my value. And I'm okay with people saying, "Oh no, sorry." I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's fine. I know what I need to have to do that tattoo, and I know it's a decent rate. I know that's a decent price. So if you're not willing to pay that, I really don't want you as a customer. That is the honest truth. When people walk away from you, it's not always a bad thing, unless you truly are just a little out of your range, right? So be careful of that. Oh my gosh. Salty Scrunt. Yo, my guy, I'm opening a tattoo studio in 2 weeks. Passed inspection yesterday, and now all I got to do is set up my areas for myself and my partner to start working. Right on, man. Congratulations. I hope you're ready for everything that's going to come. I hope you're just ready for all of that. It's not easy, especially in the economy we're in right now. And I'm definitely not deterring you from doing that. Clearly, you're already in that route, but just be weary. Understand that it's the beginning. Okay, it's the beginning, and some people jump the gun a little too early, and the work isn't quite ready for that. So yeah, but congratulations, man. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, here we go. Ronnie says, "Congrats, Salty Scrooned. Snow day where? I'm in northeastern Ohio, where we only got like like 6 inches, but 20 minutes down the road, they got like 1.5 feet of snow, and people just weren't ready for it. The state wasn't ready for it. The county wasn't ready for it. Excuse me. So the sheriff's department put out a like category 3, go nowhere unless you absolutely have to, which is weird because 1.5 feet, 6 inches around here is nothing for snow. But it's just that we weren't quite ready for it to happen right now. And, plows weren't ready. Just everybody was not ready. So it's a real shitter show outside. So, and my client who was coming today lost power, lost heat. Like I felt bad for them. But that's okay. Good to hang out with you guys. All right. We're scrolling through looking for some more questions. What does it say? Someone flopped on me today? Oh, I should have charged a deposit because she wasted my time. Oh, man. This is a conversation as well. I've really only been requesting deposits for new clients. And I let that go a little bit because I wanted to, because I've been in this position. But I said, no. I don't want to scare new clients away. It's like, hey, you need to put like, $100 down on this tattoo or whatever the case may be. But no, for new clients moving forward, I am requiring a deposit, even if it's not a terribly large deposit. It is something, and it can be moved to the next appointment. But yes, this sucks, and today doesn't suck because the situation that happened. Recurring client, I love this client. No problem. We're gonna reschedule, get him in later on, maybe in a few weeks whenever I have an opening. So no problem. But what really sucks is when you have these large tattoos, these big pieces and they no call, no show or whatever, and you got hours invested in design. Because I really try to go the distance for my clients. I spend hours behind the scenes before they ever even see it, which like so many other artists do as well. There's so much time behind the scenes. And so when you are charging at $100 an hour, 150 or whatever the case may be, sometimes the client doesn't realize that, yeah, you're getting paid right now, but you're getting paid for the work you're doing now and the hours of work that you have into that piece prior to them even getting there. Some clients understand that, some don't. Sorry about this footage, guys. I mean, my hand is just right in the stinking way. But nonetheless, it's some sort of background. So again, it's not just me talking to you. Here we go. Smoke says the place in my town charges $90 an hour. Okay. Yeah, $90 an hour. Maybe they're just trying to be a little bit under the other guys, if you will, but $100 an hour or 90 is decent as well. That's fine. All right. Chris says, what do you think about booth rental? I feel that should be something more shops should offer. I agree and I disagree. I guess it's really subjective, like freaking everything, right? And again, I say it all the time. There's just my opinions. So with booth rentals, I think it absolutely benefits the artist. If I didn't have my place here to tattoo out of, I think I would probably be looking for a booth rental because I think you get the most bang for your buck. So let's hypothetically say you can rent a booth in X shop for $200 a week. And that could be a lot, right? It could sound like a lot, but that's $800 a month, which is still actually quite a bit. But maybe you pull in $1,000 a week, $2,000, a few $500-$600 sessions. Maybe it's no big deal to you to just rent that booth. Maybe they charge $100 a week, $400 a month, yada yada. So the downside, in my opinion, if I opened a shop where I had people who could work there with me, the downside of that would be somebody could just come in. I guess you have the choice to rent it out to who you want, maybe, but I wouldn't just want to rent it out to anybody, right? Because your name is still on the building, right? So if it's Death Punch Inc. and you're renting it out to somebody who's not the greatest, a booth, well, now your name is getting dragged down with it because that particular tattooer is giving you a bad name. So I guess if the shop is smart about who they allow to rent a booth from them, I think it could be a good thing. And I definitely think it's a good thing for the artists because now they're not doing no splits. There's nothing like that. I'm renting this space. I come and go. I'll be here when I'm here. I'm renting this booth. Like, you have the most amount of freedom because sometimes when you're working at a shop and there is no booth rental, the owner can kind of get weird with you. Hey, we need you here, blah, blah, blah. No, I rent this booth. I pay you so I can tattoo here and come and go as I please. So I really think it's fantastic for the artist, and maybe it's great for the owner of that facility, but I don't know. It would be kind of weird because again, you're relying on the quality of that person's work. So maybe you gotta be smart about hiring. Maybe I don't know nearly enough to speak on it. That could be the case as well. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Average pricing in my city is $125 an hour. Right. Yeah. Even here, I would say 100 plus. I mean, we're in like a bit more of like a country-esque town here, if you will. But no, if you get to any of the bigger cities, it's like 150 plus an hour here. But I'm okay with $100 an hour. I don't split that with anybody. So there's no cuts, there's no 70/30s. So I pass that on to my clients. I do not charge more with cover-ups. Yeah, that's something I am thinking about doing though, unfortunately. Maybe not yet, maybe in a year from now, right? You always got to weigh your supply and demand. Right now, I'm very comfortable with my supply. I have a nice, steady supply of tattoos that keep me working at the level I want to work at. 4 days a week, decent sized pieces. That's me. That's my wheelhouse. That's where I want to stay. And so I'm there. If the number of cover of things pick up, then yeah, you're going to have to. It's like, look, I have to pick and choose here. So I don't necessarily want to do that cover up because I have these other guys who they don't want cover ups and I can do some original stuff. So if you want that cover up, I'm gonna have to charge you a little bit more because the design's gonna be more in thorough. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta play it all case by case basis and your situation. There's some shit tattoo artists trying to overcharge where I live. Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. And I'm not really just saying like that sounds rude, but there are a lot of artists, shops that are overcharging for their work. I know this because, and I'm sure you guys may be in similar boats where you're fixing people's work and you're hearing how much they paid. And the fact that some people have been sessions on a piece that, first off, isn't good. Second, why did it take sessions to do this piece? I'm not the quickest and I'm far from the slowest, but that is freaking slow. I don't know if people are just trying to rip people off by going milking it. I don't know. But yeah, there are definitely artists overcharging because again, not everybody is, trying to be fair to both themselves and the clients. Some people legitimately just want to make as much money as they can, or they think they're better than they are. And I think it's smart to stay humble and understand that we all make mistakes. I take pictures of my tattoos after they're done and I see mistakes. I see things from like, man, why didn't I go darker there? Why didn't I smooth that out? Why this? Why that? And it's important to stay, in my opinion, to some degree in that realm because that will keep you a bit more humble. That'll keep you realizing that I'm just grateful to make $100 an hour doing something that I love. That's truly like I think about it sometimes. I'm beyond grateful that I managed to stumble down this random tattooing road where my life was not destined to go down this way. It was never a thing. Somehow I had this weird opportunity at the only point in my life where I would have ever taken it. And I took it. It was horrible, but I decided I wanted more, yada, yada. But just realize that if you're doing this for a living, you're doing something that a lot of people wish they could do. So be grateful that you're doing it. If you're doing it at a high level, if you're doing it at a point where you are making some serious money, be grateful. Because to me, sometimes I always look and I'm like, I want to do more. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I have these big dreams. But then I realize if you stop and realize that you might actually be living a dream, you just don't realize it. It was the dream you had 5 years ago. And when you look back, you're like, holy crap, I guess we are living a dream of some kind. We have accomplished some things. Don't beat yourself up completely as well. Getting off on a mega tangent here. Let me try to stay focused, guys. All right, $100 an hour is average in your town, right? I think every place is going up and down a bit, mainly up, if you will. But again, it's going to depend on your clientele. Um, your split maybe. How much are you making off that? Are you renting a booth? Are you 70/30, 60/40, 50/50? So you might only be making $50 an hour on that $100 an hour because it's 50/50 where you're at. And then you got to pay taxes unless you're paying cash. How long does it take to straighten your beard? I don't straighten my beard at all, so it takes me no time at all. But I mean, that's half a lie. I do a little bit. So what I will do when I get out of the shower, I have no choice but to blow dry. So I'll take a comb and I'll go like this. Like one pass takes me all about 45 seconds to a minute. It's just so used to doing this. It's so used to just freaking laying here that it just does it on its own. I just got to pretty much give it a little help right out the shower, and then that's it. So yeah. Oh, hang on. I got a message coming in. One moment. Uh, All right, I'll reply to that in a little bit. All right. Let's see. Not everyone is going to your client. Got to understand. Oh, not everyone's going to be your client. I think that's what you're trying to say there. And yes, you're right. Not everybody's going to be your client. And I've learned it's okay. It's okay. I'd rather some people not be my client, because if they're complaining already about a price of something and I'm thinking, man, this is a good deal. Like, I know this is a good deal. If you're complaining about it now, I don't really want to continue, because they're the same people that nitpick every little thing. So just be careful. That's all. All right. Oh, wow. Some of these questions it pops me around. Let's see. Smoke says, how long is live, Dave? Do I have time to go smoke? Yeah, you're good, man. We're going to go for another probably 50 minutes, 45 minutes. We're going to do a 2-hour stream here. And yeah, or until this skull tattoo is pretty much over. All right. So yeah, man, do your thing. You probably already have already. Actually, I was at 10:10. Yeah, I'm way behind. Where the heck? All right. Let's see. Some reason my side of this jumps me around at times. So I'm looking at questions I've already answered and then trying to figure out where I was. Getting closer. 1 second, guys. Thank you for your patience. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Just got tired of giving a non-artist shop owner 50% of my intake. Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. If you're in a position, you're ready to do that, dude. Awesome, man. I feel even better about your case. That's tough, man. Yeah. I mean, you're designing, you're doing everything. You're doing the tattoo, and that $500 tattoo, $250 is going to you. And then you got to, maybe pay taxes on it, depending on how it was paid, yada, yada. So yeah, I absolutely understand. So you could booth rental, decent, open your own shop, decent. It sounds like you're prepared for what's happening. You've already been through this. You know what's going on. So I wish you all the best, man. Absolutely. All right. Schmoke says, I had a question. What's better to do a stencil with, a pen or pencil? My first pencil, like pen. I've never done a stencil by hand with a pencil. So I don't know, man. I mean, she's like gangster, man. No, I would use a pen, a good ballpoint pen, one that has like a good roll on it. Make sure it's rolling across the paper and I'm picking up that whatever it is. Oh, excuse me. Ani says, thanks, man. Great advice. Big Brazilian hugs, homie. Man, thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Hugs back to you. Love back to you. Good day to all, ladies and gents. Awesome, man. God bless you, brother. All right. Let's see what we got here. Romeo Reyes says, if I learn tattooing from your videos, does that make me your apprentice? Absolutely. Go do amazing things. Take your time. Be patient. Work your way up. And don't forget about me when you guys make it to the top. Because I know some of you guys are going to go all the way. You're going to be like epic, right? And just remember, come find me in a little town, Ohio, and come pick me up and let me come hang out with you guys. I'm investing. This is an investment in anybody who's willing to learn. And yeah, just again, don't forget about me when you make it. All right. It's my only request. Also, if you want to support this shop, I don't even know if there are any links in my description, but if there's a link in my description to the to pick up some hoodies or whatnot, support the shop, guys. They're not art something hoodies or anything. They are Death Punch Inc. hoodies and Fear the Beard. Got some Fear the Beard on. It's my favorite, man. I really love this. I appreciate you guys who have been in the stream for a long time and said, look, we want, I think it was Danik, maybe, Fear the Beard hoodies. And it's been like 6 months and I finally got some for you. So anyhow, let's see. I usually have to put a deposit for the first hour. Okay, it's interesting. Let's see. Rodney says deposit depends, but always charge for design. I've had designs took to other artists, so now I charge for designs. I think, in my opinion, that's kind of what the deposit is for. The deposit is for, in the event you never hear from them again, at least you got paid for that design. And I know, like, for me, I will transfer their deposit if something comes up and they give me some a decent heads notice or heads up. It will transfer. It's pretty difficult for me to just straight up take it unless they no call no show. Then you're done. I'll never talk to you again, unless you're an ongoing client and there's no serious reason. But no, if you no call no show, I'm done. I'm not gonna reply to your messages. I'm not gonna tattoo you anymore. Something crazy will have to happen for that to happen because I don't like my time being wasted. So anyhow, that's that. Always charge for design. And the other thing when it comes to this is I used to send my designs out. This is like everybody who's been doing this for a little while knows that's a bad idea. So I used to, let's say 5 days out, few days out. Oh, hey, here's the design. You cool with this? And it was always, oh, we could change this. Can we do this? And then it's back and forth like several times. Some people were maybe one or two. Rarely was it never, but many were just back and forth. I'm just like, what the heck? I ain't got time for. They're not paying me for this. This is unreal. So what I do is when they show up for their tattoo, that's when they will see the design. We can make changes right there on the spot. Like, hey, can we move that there? Absolutely. iPad, boom, move. Can we change? Yeah. If they're huge changes, big changes, then look, I'm fine. We are just going to book you another day because I'm going to need more time to work on this, whatever. Most of the time we get them figured out the day of. But what this stops is them from sending it to 45 people. So you send them this design, like, oh, okay, oops. Like, oh, I really like this. Let me send it to my mom, brother, sister, aunt, uncle. And then they're like, oh, you should. What about that? Are you sure you want that flower? And then all these thoughts are going through their head like, oh, I don't know. Oh, you're right. Boom, 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 boom. That's why. Because they like it, but they allow a million other people to come in. Then before you know it, they don't even have a clue what they want anymore. They're totally lost in the sauce. Next thing you know, it gets wild. But there are, again, this is all case by case. There are some clients who are pretty freaking reasonable. And I will send them like 2 days prior to, hey, this is what you got. This is what we come up with. And a lot of time, I know these clients, it might be like one little change. I want to send it to them because I want to confirm in the process. So again, it's case by case, but 90% of people don't, because they're either going to take your design and run, or they're going to make a million changes to it. And that's the thing. People always like, well, I trust you. I trust you, the professional. Well, then sometimes you have to trust that I've tried all 45 options and this is the best option. It's like, well, why don't we do that? I tried that, and trust me, I wanted that to work too, but it doesn't. So sometimes it's good to keep those designs that didn't work out so you can show them later, like, hey, look, see, we did this. Oh, okay. And then they start to realize, like, okay, so you've done your work, and this is it is. Jason says, hey, brother, you ever received that caricature I drew of you? What? Yes. I used to have it. Let me see. Hold on, man. I think if you drew this caricature, this one right here, if this was you, man, yes, I have it right here, dude. Love this thing. I rocked it for quite a while up here as well. Really cool. I'm gonna leave it back up there. If this was yours, man, it's been a while. But yeah, I dig that. I dig that caricature a lot. Nice job, dude. All right. Where was I? All right. Sorry, guys. The stupid chat thing. I'm scrolling through. I think I'm skipping some stuff. Okay, I'm getting close. All right. Any advice to open my own shop? Any advice to open my own shop? Just make sure you're ready. Make sure you're ready to open your own shop. If you're struggling, if you don't, technically where I'm at right now, I feel like I'd be ready to open my own shop. But I jumped the gun. I was early, but I'm not like sure. I'm a private studio still. So I'm not have people just coming in right off the street or anything. You have to book an appointment or a consultation or both. So make sure you're ready, though. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you can deliver what you want to deliver. Make sure you're not over there trying to figure it all out at the same time. It's a lot of stress if you are. It's okay if you are as well. Just be real with yourself. And yeah. Romeo says, question, have you ever just like fucked up someone's tattoo? If so, what do you do? No, not any time in the past, like several years. Now, when I was working at that shop in my apprenticeship where I learned nothing, they had me tattooing. And again, we were using coil machines. And every once in a while, I'd set the machine up properly, and it ran good, and the needle was all right and everything. But it was hit or miss because, again, no one really showed me. I had one individual help me, and they did help, but it was not quite enough in the scheme of things, right? Just a one time explaining how to use a coil machine was just not quite enough. So anyhow, yeah, I messed up some in a shop. I look back on them, I feel bad, but some of the people didn't even know, right? They didn't realize because the quality they were looking for was pretty low. Unfortunately, they really didn't. Some people just don't know a bad tattoo from a decent tattoo. Thankfully, most didn't. There was a few I know that were like, oh shit, I am definitely not coming back. So you just suck it up. You just gotta take it on the chin, I guess. But no, I've not on my own that I'm aware of ever really messed up someone's tattoo. If you do, your brain better start thinking of how you're going to fix that. So let's say you really blow out a line bad, like, oh crap, and this tattoo has no shading. You might want to let them know, hey, look, I'm really apologize, but this line is blown out. And they're like, what's that mean? Like, do you see that haze under there? Well, I put the needle in too deep, this part of your skin, for whatever reason. I just wasn't ready for it. Boom, it blew it out. If we put a little bit of shading around some of this stuff, it will hide that. You're never going to see. These are the things you got to start coming up with on the fly. So, good question, though, man. What's going on, Jeremy? Sweet Skull. Thanks, man. It was a pretty cool one. I think when we go back in for the next session, I start working the bottom, and then I might jump up, put a little more black around one of the eyes. And that's what I really do like about session work, big pieces, because like we're getting towards the end. I think we're at like hour number 5 right now, maybe like 4.5, 5 hours in. So his body's getting real sore and tired. So I got to just do what I got to do to get this in there. And, I'd like a little extra time, but I can always come back to that next session when I'm working something else, jump up there, boom, boom, boom. And Salty Scrunt says, stay humble. Always, man. Always stay humble. All right. Chris says, what do you think of conventions? I had to pay for half of the booth and paid 50% to the shop owner. Is that a ripoff or am I overthinking? I'm just now thinking about doing a convention. I've never even been to a convention. I've never walked into a convention and just walked around and said, met people. I want to so badly. And around the time I was thinking about doing that, COVID hit and everything was shut down. And then, excuse me, I might go to a convention this year. I might even enter into a convention, participate. I know I was invited to a convention in Florida, but I don't know if that's something I want to do. It's a bit far away and all the headache and blah, blah, blah. So I just don't know. Maybe not. But I am thinking about doing them. Now let's go back to your question. You had to pay for half the booth. So I don't know how much that cost. How much is half the booth? Was it $750? Did you pay $350? And then 50% of the shop owner, how much work were you doing? Did you walk away with some money? It sounds like not so much. It sounds like, man, that's rough. I feel like, I don't know. It's a case by case. Maybe the shop owner should have just paid for it, taken 50% of what you did and called that, his payment for getting you there. I think that would probably been the more responsible way to go about it. But who am I? You know what I mean? I haven't even been to a convention, so why am I over here being like, he should have done this? I don't know. You think about it. Do you think you got a good deal? Do you think it was worth it, Chris? Sometimes you just gotta decide yourself whether this is worth the squeeze, whether you're getting played, whether whatever. And then on top of that, you got to figure out what are you going to do about it. Are you going to approach your mentor? Are you going to do X, Y, and Z? Again, these are the things we got to think about. All right. Good question. Is it Raquel or Rachel? I don't know. Skate. I'm going to call you Skate. What do you think is a fair percentage for an artist? I actually had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I think a 70-30 is now maybe shop owners will not be happy with my statements here, but I think if you have a decent artist, I try to look at a shop as, look, I'm trying to create an A team, right? You're trying to, whether your A team is here and maybe somebody else's A team's up here and somebody else is right, but you're trying to create your own A team, in my opinion. Your name's on the building, right? So I want those artists to not want to leave. I want them to stay. I want them to love working here. I want them to thrive. So for me, if I would like to swing a 70-30, 30% for the shop owner, 70% for the client. Now, for the artist. My takeaway here is, though, I think that the artist should supply their own stuff. I think that your shop could supply, chairs and all that stuff, and you want to keep the shop looking uniform. Maybe you want all the same client chairs, you want all the same toolboxes. That's fine, and maybe you as a shop owner provide those things. But when it comes to paper towels, inks, no, you take care of your own stuff. I don't think the shop should be responsible for any of that personally. I think that you as an artist know what rags you want to use, what inks you want to use, what needles you want to use. You should provide your own. And at that, a 70-30 split. That is my opinion on that. And that's subject to change always, right? It's just from what I understand of things, that is my opinion. But a 60-40 any other time, 60-40 is not horrible either. But I just think, again, you're doing the work. You should get a decent chunk of that. So if you're doing $1,000 tattoo, 300 of it goes to shop, you make $700. It's a pretty decent deal. I mean, you got a decent shop. You don't got to worry about running the place. And if the owner has, himself, maybe 2 other people working there, that 30% should be all right, right? I think, again, you try to be fair to yourself and fair to the clients. If you're money hungry and that's your goal, then obviously this is not going to be for you. You're going to want more money. You're going to want a higher percentage for yourself. But again, my perspective comes down to trying to create an A team, and you want those artists to stay there. You're going to maybe you invest time into those artists, and then they leave because they're like, man, I'm getting paid 50-50 here. Joe Schmo's down the road, man, he's paying his artists like 60-40 or 70-30, and I'm going to go work there. If you're paying 70-30, you're a decent shop, got a decent reputation, your good artists aren't going to want to leave you, and you have better opportunity maybe picking up even some new talent. Excuse me. Now, if you're an apprentice, that's a whole different world. Okay. All right. Rodney says, what's your best advice for creating depth? Start with darker shades and work to light, or build layers from light to dark. All right. So what I find that I do most, like let's say with this skull or something right here, not all the time, but what I will do is I will dip into my 5-drop. And what that's going to do is going to give me like a base layer, if you will. And that base layer is not my lightest. My lightest is going to be that 2-drop. So that's going to go where places I just don't want it to be open skin, or I don't want it to be just straight white. Let me put the 2-drop. So that 5-drop, I'm going to go through and I'm going to shape everything. I'm going to shape the nose, not putting in heavy, just putting in a little bit, opening those pores up, shape everything. Then I'm going to make a decision. Okay, I want this particular section to be not black, maybe a mid. So I'm going to add a hit with the 20-drop. So I'm going to build that up. But after that base layer of like 5 in most places, so I can get shape, I'm trying to get shape. I'm trying to get form and see stuff. Then after that, I go through and I put the tone I want where I want it. So if I want, now I know, okay, I want that upper part of the note. I want that to be a 20. Boom. I'm going to put that in, pepper that out. This spot I want it to be a 10-drop. Boom. That's how I work. You can also put in your black. If you know exactly where your black's going to be, you can put that in, and after the black's in, then you can go light to dark. But if you like to work dark to light, then go dark to light. It's totally up to you. And I know people are like, well, if you work light to dark, then you're going to tint, blah, blah, blah. I went over this in the last video. I don't buy it. I think that whatever helps you make the best work you can, then go for it. Whether it breaks the rules or not, just don't be, a dirty individual. Do you still use white in your gray wash? Yes, always. I will probably never go back. Again, I will say it again. I have a five cap setup. First cap's 100% black. Second cap's 20% or 20 drops of black. Third cap's 10 drops of black. Fourth cap's 5 drops of black. Fifth cup is 2 drops of black. Then I add 10 to 12 drops of white to each cap, minus the 100% black one. And then I add distilled water and I stir that up. And I love that setup. And it's not opaque. I've been through this with several people. It is not opaque. It is a wash. If you want opaque grays, excuse me, you would mix whatever your ratio is. Let's say you have 10 drops of black, and then the rest of the cap gets filled up with white. There's no water, just white. And you mix that up, and that creates some level of gray. That's an opaque gray. All right. I had an apprenticeship back in 2004. Been in this for a minute. Damn, Salty Scrunt, man. I never know when I'm talking to people whether they've been tattooing for like 1 year and they're like, all right, I'm open up a shop. That's hard, you know what I mean? Like, but obviously, I mean, hopefully your work is on par, because if you've been at it since 2004, I think congratulations, man. You've been ready. You've been waiting for this moment. So big congrats to you, brother. Here he goes. I am ready to open my own shop. By the way, we will have a booth for rent. Oh, hey, where you at, Salty Scrunt? In case there's somebody around here that might be interested in renting that booth. I'm sure I won't get to your statement until I get lower down, but that's awesome. All right. How do you blend colors like lights to darks? Okay. Again, tricky things to explain without any visuals, but let's say we have 3 tones. All right, we have a dark tone, a medium tone, and a light tone. So if that's a blue, you have a dark blue, a medium blue, and a light blue. And if you're using colors, you want to make sure that there's a broad difference between them. So if you're looking at your bottles and it's like, oh, this one's blue, this one's a little bit lighter, this one's a little bit light. We need more contrast in those colors. So what we would do, hypothetically, is let's say this vape is the machine. So you're packing in your dark blue here. We got our dark blue. Now below that, I want to eventually blend out into my lightest blue. So I'm packing that here. I'm packing that right in between these 2 fingers. I'm packing that. And then right about here where my thumb's at, I'm going to start moving my hand a little bit faster or pushing it out. Maybe a little bit of whip out. Maybe I'm doing circles, but I'm just moving my hand a little bit faster. And what I'm trying to create there is a little bit of that same dark blue, just not 100% saturated. I want my next layer to pack that in with that dark blue and then continue bringing that down. So I have this little area here. It's up to you how wide that blend area is. And then I just start packing my mid blue, however I want the mid blue. And now I'm going to come into that dark. So now I'm going to speed my hand up a little bit, or maybe do a little whip, whatever the case may be. I just want to get less saturation, but fill that area. And then I'll come in with my light blue and pack it right over that and move down. You see what I'm saying? This is how the blended areas aren't necessarily huge unless you want them to be a long blended area. I hope that answers your question. Salty. Yeah, people are asking Salty where you're located. Oh, he says Salty is Redding, California. Yeah, there you go. Joey Boy, what's going on, man? Joey Boy does some fantastic tattoos, man. Joey, if you're the same Joey, I'm pretty sure Joey's the guy. Fantastic. Humble individual as well. Always love that. All right, Chris says, what influenced you into this way of life? I got out of the Marine Corps, and I was, after 10 years in the Marine Corps, I was devastated to get out, but we had horrible leadership in the White House, which pushed a lot of people out, unfortunately. And we had some new leadership. This was like 5-6 years ago, and it just wasn't enough time for it to help people out. So nonetheless, I didn't want to do what I did there. I didn't want to work on aircrafts. I didn't want to do any electronical work. I just hated it. So when I got back to Ohio, because I had a decision to make, do I want to go work for like Boeing? Do I want to be on the West Coast? Do I want to take these opportunities? Or I want to go back to that small town and grow up in and figure shit out? And that's the choice I made. I don't know why. And I did. And, I had some really great job opportunities up in Cleveland, working at some aerospace places. And I just thought, man, I don't know. I think I want to go to school because the military will pay for you to go to school, even though you're out. It still is part of the GI Bill. And I'm just gonna chill out for a little bit and try to figure out what I want to do. And then my brother-in-law said, hey, you like to draw? I dabbled in tattooing like years ago. And so he said, hey, this guy's looking for an apprentice. I'm like, all right, maybe I can swing this. This is kind of crazy. And I did swing that. Sorry, guys, this footage is getting kind of poor over here. Let me see if I can speed this up a little bit. Get my head out of the way. Nope, head's still in the way. And yeah, so that's what started it all. And boy, was that a hot mess, a hot mess. But I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for that random thing that happened in my life that saved my life. And I will be forever grateful. And again, sometimes I try to stop and remind myself that, hey, man, even if things look weird now and then, you're getting to do what you absolutely never thought you'd be able to do. And for that, I'm forever grateful. So anyhow, that is that. All right. So this is a carry on of that last question by a left lane trucker. Like, for example, black and gray. Do you always have to use a gray wash, or can you kind of whip shade solid black to have it look like a gray color? I've talked about this earlier. You can a little bit. But I don't suggest it. You can where you like, I might have black up here, like let's say up on the top of this skull head and the hood. You might have that black up there and you might like whip it down a little bit, but it's not necessarily going to become gray because I'm putting it in lighter. It's either, if it's really light in the skin, then when it heals, some of it's going to flake off because it's not in the proper depth of skin. But you can get a little bit of less black in the skin, which might come off as a gray, if you will. But no, learn how. If you're depending upon that, you're wrong. Learn how to understand your grays. That's why I'm telling people all the time, like, hey, learn your grays. Know what they look like properly saturated into the skin. And that's why I started doing my gray wash the way I do it, because I can see the tones in the caps. I know. I'm looking at that cap going, that's the gray I want for this spot, and I put it in, and I trust the process. So, no, I would not do what you're doing right here. It's good occasionally, but not if you're looking to do true black and gray and get, tones. In fact, I can't get a soft gray on that nose by taking black and just gently putting it in there. It's not going to work. Romeo Reyes says, also do you work for CNC? I don't. I bought 2 tattoo machines, couple wireless power supplies, and mentioned art something somewhere in the notes. Yes. All right. So here's the thing. Full disclosure. My photo's on their page. And they sent me a plaque that says sponsored artist, but they don't really do anything for me. They every once in a while, like, hey, do you want to try out our new CNC Q2 colored ones? Like, yeah, heck yeah, I haven't seen a Q2 in a year. Send it. They don't send me needles regularly. It's not like they're sponsoring me, like, hey, use our needles and we'll keep sending. They don't. I order them. I buy them from their freaking website. I use my own discount code so I can save 10%. And I got to deal with the shipping, which can be a pain in the butt sometimes. So it's weird. Like, maybe, but no. They again send me a plaque, says, art something, pro team, we want to take care of you. I don't know what the heck that really means because they don't. But I do like their products. That's the flip side there. It's like, well, some of your products I like. I like your needles. There's a few machines you do I like. I don't think I've ever used their power supplies. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I've learned a lot from doing this stuff. You don't let anybody dictate what you use, right? So there's a plaque over there, right? Technically, it says, let me grab it for you guys. All right, so technically, art something CNC number 7, right? Technically, does it mean anything? No, they send me diddly. I need more needles, but I go on their website, I order them, I use my discount code so I can at least save like 10%, and then I wait the weeks for them to come in the mail. And if they don't, then I have to argue with them, which they always come in. You just gotta be patient. What else was I going to say about that? Yeah, but here's the thing. I use Bishop Wand machines. No company is going to be like, hey, no one's going to own me, right? So if I decide I want to use Flux machines because they came out with something great, I love it now, I'm going to use their machines, right? I think that's probably the reason why they don't really care for me as much, is because there's no control, right? I'm going to do what I want to do. If you guys want to let me try your crap out, it's not crap. I do like it. I'll try it out, give my opinions on it, but that's all you're getting, right? But they've had my photo up on the website for a long time. They need to get a new photo because that is a baby beard photo and they need a real one. I think they've had several people's photos up that had no relationship with them. But that photo was up way before they ever even really sent me diddly. I was just using their machine. Okay. So anyhow, now you guys know all that. What is the best cartridge for making realism? In terms of black and gray, hope you answer my question. Yeah. I really love, and I'm using them right here, EMALLA cartridges. Another company who said, hey, you want to try these out? I was like, they look decent. Sure. And I really like them. They are really, really good needles. I have some quadrant needles. They're identical. And they're a little bit cheaper. So if you're looking at quadrant needles, which I think are fantastic needles, if they're $40 for a particular box, these ones are going to be like $35. So they are a little bit cheaper. And in my opinion, you're getting the same exact quality, maybe even better. It's so close, it's hard to even judge. So, and I really prefer their mags because when it comes to liners and whatnot, I'm not too picky. But when it comes to mags and I really want a good look, I've really liked using them. If you're on more of a budget, right? The CNC police cartridges, I like them as well. Are they quite as sharp? Are they quite? No, they're not. But they don't charge the same amount, right? So you're going to pay for what you get. If you're looking for a really, really good needle, definitely look no further than EMALLA. If you're looking for a decent needle at a decent price, the police cartridges by CNC are my favorite. They're the red ones. You'll see me using them all the time. I use EMALLA carts and I use CNC carts. That's pretty much it. Police carts, to be exact. And again, they don't send me the stuff. They send me the one time, right? They get me hooked. And then I was like, crap, I like these needles. So now I got to go on their website and buy them. There's discount codes in the description. I use those discount codes too because I want to save 5%. And yeah. I wish EMALLA would send me more because I have to go and order some now because I'm running out of all of my mags. But it's probably not worth them to send me anymore. All right, at Salty Scrunt. Oh man, Salty Scrunt. Other side of the country. Oh, best of luck. Okay, I see. Oh, okay. Well, looks like we took a break over here. Is there any? Okay, here we go. I'll put on this video here. We are putting the white in the skull face. So I'll throw that up on the screen here. Eventually, there will be a full video where, I take you through the whole process of this back piece because I recorded every session. A lot of it, my head's in the way, but I figure there's so many sessions and I'm not going to make you guys watch a 25-hour-long video, 30-hour-long video. So it'll be heavily sped up and I'll just run my mouth in the background explaining what I can. All right, moving on. Oh, okay. That's not yours? Hey, brother, that's not mine, but it's nice. I did digital character review. Been learning from you for a while. Appreciate you. Okay, Jason. Well, do me a favor, man. I miss stuff. Believe me, I miss stuff a lot. Once I moved your name out of the way, you'll see my Instagram, Facebook. You may have sent it there before already. If you have that still, send it to both those places. Send it to the Facebook and the Instagram if you can. You have a better chance of me seeing it. I usually try to leave my DMs for tattoo bookings and whatnot, but feel free to send that, man. And thank you for the time that you spent working on it. All right, next question. Your opinions on photography techniques in the industry. That's tricky. I think the thing is some people get a little carried away. I get a little carried away by adjusting so much crap to where it's not even the same tattoo anymore. You want your photo to look like it does in real life. And I guess if you're trying just a little bit to crispen a few things up, because photos never look as good as it does in real life. It's just never going to happen. But you try your best, and you don't, again, you're trying to be fair. If you're lying, if you're manipulating, I've had clients come in and go, do you have this, like this kind of blue, this sort of, and I have to let them know that's not real. That jet black you're looking at is not exactly real. Certain things get modified so much. So just be weary of it. We're not going to stop it. I don't think we're not gonna be able to stop it, but we can, know what we're looking for, so we can let our clients know, hey, that's not legit. And because here's the other thing, if you BS your photo so much, people are gonna eventually be coming in because they're like, wow, it's fantastic work, man. Your photo, it looks so awesome. I've never seen anything like it. And they get a tattoo by you, and they're like, it's not glowing like that. But then when you post a photo, it's like glowing. They're, what the hell, you're shooting yourself in the foot, in my opinion. Let's see. Amazing, bro. Oh, thanks, man. Somebody says, tell that to Pony Lawson. And I'm not sure what he's referring to there. Might be talking to somebody. Aren't you later? Great to have you here. What's the client form consent red flags for you? What's the client form consent red? Any particular medication, pregnancy, other stuff that would concern? Just watch out. I mean, the one that's gotten me before is blood thinners. Make sure they're not on blood thinners. The rest of it's pretty straightforward. That's the only thing I've really noticed people will forget to say is the blood thinners, because I mean, they should know. You don't want to get a tattoo. You don't want to get a piercing when you're on blood thinners, different things like that. So that's the main one that I've been caught off guard by. So just be careful there. I went to a convention back in 2004 called Mantra. Met Paul Booth. Right on, dude. I was just watching Paul Booth do some live tattooing the other day, and he's still getting it, man. He's still in it. I like his style, and he's still surviving in a world that tattooers, man. You go online, you see some amazing stuff. The moment you think like, oh yeah, I think I'm getting good at this, just go online and get re-humbled. It will happen. Some kid somewhere in his basement, nothing against that, truly nothing against that. And he's like just killing it, right? Because they can. I mean, all right. Because nowadays we can learn how to tattoo. Let's see. AZ says, how do you deal with when your client taps out? Because you're gonna lose the stencil on the next session. I'm planning ahead, man. I'm reading the client. I'm talking to the client. You know what I mean? If they're like, oh, and I'm looking at that tattoo going, oh gosh, I got ways to go. Then you better like change your brain and go, all right, how do I get this? You might have to go in there with that 2-drop and line everything out that you need lined out. You can line stuff where there shouldn't be a line, because if you know you're going to go back over the top of that with a much darker gray or whatnot, you're never going to see that little line. But it's there for you so that you can carry on where you left off in the next session. So, excuse me, it's part of your job to realize and try to get a feel for where the client is at that stage in the game. What's happening? All right. Okay. All right. So I hope that helps you out, man. Chris Silk, 70%. Yeah, I agree. 70-30, man. That's the way it should be if you're trying to like take care of the client, take care of the artist, take care of a shop that's not like completely hungry, and business, and depending on experience and ability. Absolutely. I'm assuming when I'm saying 70-30 that the artists know what they're doing. They're tattooers. They have a system, right? You trust them. You do your thing. You do your thing here in this shop, and this is the way it goes. And I think they'll be fortunate for that. I would be. Conventions are great, but best parts are seminars and contact buildings. I could definitely see seminars being definitely worth the worth the time and effort and money and all that. Because I think you hit a certain point where in the beginning you're trying to figure out, how do I line, how to shade, what is right, what is wrong, how do I do this thing? Then you get to a point where you're like, what do I do from here to improve? And I think that's when you have to start really seeking higher education and maybe going back into art more. Maybe that's it. But now you're paying to get that little tiny nugget that's going to really take your game to the next level. You're looking for little nuggets. And I think that's why these conventions, these seminars are important, because you might pay X amount of dollars for the seminar, but that one thing they said is what, oh, okay. So anyhow, what up, Mosu? All right. Oh, okay. Romeo Reyes says, I tattoo on myself a lot, and I don't think that the tattoo machine overly hurts. But when I do others, people say that the tattoo hurts. What do you think I can do to help the tattoo not hurt so bad? Bro, tattoos hurt. That's it. I remember when I first started tattooing, I was reading the client too much. They're like, oh, I'm thinking, oh gosh, I must really be wrecking their world. Oh, I mean, it just hurts. Like, oh, ooh. I'm thinking, okay, back off. Nowadays, I feel for them. There's parts I'm tattooing that I don't have tattooed. I'm like, oof, I can feel the bone. You know what I mean? You're just like, oh, this must suck. But at the same time, I know what I have to do, and I know that it hurts. And so you have to be careful not to let the client dictate how you tattoo, because I did this for a little while, and my work was both way slower, and it just wasn't healing properly because I wasn't doing things right. I was allowing the client to dictate my process by how they felt. Obviously, the flip side of that is you are literally drilling the heck out of their body part, their arm, whatever you're tattooing, and they're like, holy crap. So you got to be careful. But in my case, and maybe in a lot of people's cases, you got to be careful. Numbing cream. Bro, I'm down for some numbing cream. I used to think like, oh yeah, I don't want anything interfering with my ability to tattoo. Nowadays, I'm like, if that will make the client be able to sit longer, I will take it. Absolutely. Put as much on as you want. This right here has numbing cream has been on the entire time. And it's only lasts for a couple hours tops. And you have to follow the instructions. Every brand's different. Some work better than others. But yeah, follow the instructions on that particular product you buy. But I have no problem with numbing cream. I prefer it because, again, if the person needs using numbing cream, then I know I'm going to have a little bit more time in the skin. I know that whatever's going to help that person sit there longer. I know when the skin is done. The skin will only take some. It will come a point where it's just like, man, that skin is pissed and it ain't taking no more. But I need the client to be able to make it to that point. And if numbing cream will help you get there, absolutely. Sometimes you're tattooing and people won't stay still, and so your quality of work goes down, especially if you're doing lining stuff. So that numbing cream, if it allows the quality of my work to be better, then it's helping you, it's helping me. I've not seen it hinder me anywhere. Hip Hop Live Sports says snow day where I'm in northeastern Ohio, and we got a lot of snow. Well, where I'm at, not a ton, maybe like half a foot, but we weren't ready for it. Down the road, they got like 1.5 feet. So they just weren't ready for it here. And so they didn't have the trucks out. None of that. So I think that was the biggest thing. Again, big thanks to, or big congratulations to Salty Man. Awesome, dude. Oh, wait, I'm back up at the top again. Doggone it, this stupid thing. Andy, I didn't even see Andy. Let me go back up a little bit. I clearly missed some stuff. Sorry, guys. Thanks for your patience here. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, we missed some stuff. Smash the like button. Contrasted, you're here too? Got the whole crew. Let's see. I'm trying to get back to where I was. Dang, I missed a lot, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch back up. Okay, I'm back where I am. Sorry. Thanks for your patience, guys. Again, if you're just joining us, I just have this tattoo going on in the background, so you guys aren't stuck staring at my mug and listening to just my voice. You can see whatever the heck I'm doing over there. This is unaltered, just like raw footage from the other day. I just happen to have it. My head is somewhat not in the in the shots. So anyhow, Andy in the house. What's going on, Andy? Good to have you. I'm looking for a question here. I know there was some. I just want to get back to where I was. Let's see. My practice thinks. Smash the like button. Yes, thank you. Contrasted. Smash the like button, guys. I don't know where we're at. I haven't looked. Doesn't matter. Share the live. All right, now we're getting fancy. Actually, yeah. Sharing the live is probably the smarter thing to do. We covered a lot of stuff here. We really, really did. Guys, this is Bactine. I'm spraying onto the tattoo right here. And that really is nice after you do your whites, maybe even before your whites. Spray it. Let the towel sit on that with that Bactine. It's got 4% lidocaine in it. And it will help, like, not numb a little bit. Maybe take the edge off before you put the white in. And then definitely spray it down afterwards. Let it sit for a little bit because that's going to help you when he goes to take your photo. All right. This video is pretty much over. I'm going to drop this out for a moment. I'll take you guys back. Excuse me. To back a little ways here. Let's see where this is at. 1 second, guys. I do apologize here. I am. All right. We'll watch a little bit of this. We backed it up a little bit. I'm just like working on those doves a little bit. All right. What else? Follow and subscribe. Oh, you're killing the contrast. You're hitting all the notes here. Romeo Reyes says, wow, only 10% discount for using your picture on their website. I can't. Their police needles are pretty sick, though. I know. I'm just like, don't care enough to be like, hey, can you guys take whatever? I don't care. Like, I guess I would hate it if I really hated everything they provided. If I hated their machines completely, I hated them, be like, get me off there. But I don't mind it. I don't mind their stuff and what have you. I just wish that they would send me some needles on the regular instead of me having to go and buy them. But it's okay. I'm used to it. We buy needles. That's what we do, you know. All right. Let's see. Andy says, contrasted, good to be here. Finished tattooing and sat in studio chilling. Just ordered some new laser machines, lasers, for removals and beauty. Right on, dude. That sounds expensive. Well, that's so misleading of them because having your photo up makes it look like you're like one of the head honchos of the company. Oh, man, I wish. What? I don't know what that means, so maybe I don't wish. Maybe I'd have to move to China or something. I ain't going there. No, not even close. I have a guy that on, like, what is that app? I use it to talk to Andy and maybe like one other person. This guy, WhatsApp or whatever, and they'll hit me up. Gosh, maybe every like 4 months. Hey, you want to try out these? Have you guys done anything different? Oh, blah, 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 blah. All right, I guess, sure. And then you wait a month, it shows up randomly, like, oh, okay. That's my relationship. So they just like this plaque showed up. Like, okay, does this mean like we're legit now? Like you're gonna like truly sponsor the channel and maybe I can give some free stuff to some people? No. All right. Let's see. That will be awesome. How do I find my tattoo style? I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I think you just gotta tattoo. This is my perspective. We're gonna get other people's perspective, totally different. That's fine. My perspective is you just have to tattoo different stuff. You have to try to do a little bit of everything until you find like, I really like this. I really like doing black and gray work, but I do a lot of color and I've had to like improve in my color game in order to do these color pieces that people want me to do. And I don't know that I necessarily have a style. I think maybe after 4 or 5 years, I might be developing something. I notice a lot of people do black and gray differently. So you might do black gray in a certain way. I do black gray my own way, and it doesn't look like everybody else's. It looks like some people's. It doesn't look like other people's. Same with color, you know. So be careful when you're comparing yourself to other people because eventually you'll find that, well, you make marks in the skin differently. We're going to both look at a same dove, and we're going to execute it differently, right? So you're going to find your style by tattooing, you know. What do you like to draw? That's going to play a big part. What do you like to design? Do you like color? Do you like this? Blah, blah, blah. That's going to help play into it. But I encourage people to learn how to do everything, because if you learn a little bit of everything, if stuff gets bad and economy like it is now gets rough, and people in your community are like, people aren't flying in anymore, people aren't coming from a distance away, so now you're stuck with just the people you have around here, you've like shot yourself in the foot, because now you only do black and gray realism. So all those people who might want color aren't going to come to you. Then over time, maybe you develop yourself, maybe you can find a style. I would just be careful. I know that some people preach that you got to find your style, and then people get really, 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 really good at it, and people come from all over the place to get it, and that's true too. But I think we tell people this so early on, and we pigeonhole people. All right. Let's see. Contrasted, much love to you too, man. Have a fantastic day, my friend. Let's see. And the other thing, guys, if you're like looking at this tattoo right now, we're tattooing this dove, and these poles next to my hand here. God, the session before that, this bottom section got put in kind of quickly. In one of those situations where you're like, what do you do? Like I talked about before, when the client's like had enough, but you need to get it in, you do something like this. There's no actual like real solid lines. It's just kind of like put in there, blacks here, different shapes are put in like these, those handrails going up. And that's going to come back in towards the end. We fine tune these things. So don't be afraid. As long as you have enough there to where you can read it, come like the session when you're going to be working on that section, you're going to be fine. And like when it comes to these doves or whatnot, you can look at a piece, go, oh man, it's getting too dark. But if you know your tones, you know that there is a red pushing through. That red is, the skin is irritated. When that calms down, you're going to get a softer look. So experience and trust and all that comes into play. So anyhow, where am I? Yes, this is from Rodney. Says, great question, but that will come in time. Your style will develop on its own. I agree with that. Don't force a style. Don't force a thing. Just let it happen. Study tattooing, work your tail feather off, try to improve, watch different people, buy courses, like not mine. Mine are very rudimentary for learning, and most of all my information's out there for free. And there's tons of other people with free information. But when it comes to that next level, may see if there's any higher end courses you can buy. It's invest in yourself or go to seminars and whatnot. I haven't done either, to be quite honest, but I will be. Possibly. I want to learn a little bit more. I have taken some courses. Which one did I take? Some realistic. And all it really did for me was reconfirm some stuff I already knew, that sometimes we just don't know. Are we doing this right? Is this how other people do it? And you find, oh, okay, that's how, yep, their thoughts are pretty similar to mine. But they do things a little differently. So I'm going to take a little bit of that. I like that. I don't like how that might work for you. So you're letting stuff go. It's not like someone's wrong. It's just that maybe that doesn't work for you. All right. Off that tangent again. Okay. Let's see. Everybody always wants to get high or drunk to get tattooed. You're not horribly wrong. It's effing annoying every time I say yes, and it ends up being that I have to have them come back sober. Oh. No, I don't really have that issue. I have been there before. I've had people get too high sometimes, and then they get sick and messed up. I mean, I think sometimes that intensifies the pain when it comes to the drinking. The main thing is I don't want them drunk, and I want to make sure they didn't drink heavily the night before, because by the time they show up for that tattoo, they're thin, their blood's going to be thinned out a little bit, which just makes the whole experience a little bit tougher than it has to be. Listen to Andy B here. He says, smash a like on the video, guys. I mean, never wrong. All right, next one. Romeo says, one time I was barely on the second line, and this dude fainted on me, totally caught me off guard. And that has ever happened to you? Yes, several times, actually. A good friend of mine, he warned me. Hey, I want to do a hand tattoo, which we still need to finish. Jose, I got you, man. One of these days. And we got a few lines in. He's like, all right, man, I got to see sat up. Oh, I went to adjust the music, come back, boom, bounce his head off the floor. And we couldn't continue tattooing for like an hour. It was really messed him up real bad. He tried to warn me. Wasn't quite prepared for how quick it went down. So that was experience number one. And then there was another experience. We were just putting a stencil on a girl on her ribs, and maybe it was her standing there for a while. Everything, nerves, boom. She knew it was coming, but most people wait till last minute because they don't want to say anything. They feel like, okay, I got this. And then they're like, can we stop? I'm going to. And then they just fall. And you got to be ready to catch them because they're going straight out. They'll be back in about 30 seconds. But yeah. So be prepared for that. It can absolutely happen. If people haven't eaten properly, haven't slept properly, and they're pushing their body or whatever, they will fall out. They will. So yeah, it happens. Be careful. Andy says numbing cream rocks, gets the client to sit well. That's it. That's it. That's the big thing there. All right, let's speed this up a little bit. Where are we going over here? What are we working on? Blah, blah, blah. We're doing all those little thingies. All right, there we go. Working on a dove. That's more exciting. Okay, where am I at? Bum. Any recommendations for a brand of numbing cream? No, because there was one brand we liked. Me and this particular client actually. But it's no longer available. So that's probably why it was good. So they've used several different kinds. And I think by the time we're done, we will find one that is recommended over the others. But give them a try. Andy says, smoke some crystal meth. Apparently that is a numbing situation there. And it might even knock them right out completely. So might work pretty good. And I don't think it affects the skin at all. All right, my wife is asking, what is the best to stencil with, a pen or a pencil? Wait, did my comments do this? What the heck? Yeah, I answered that, Smoke, before. I prefer a pen with a ballpoint, so it rolls real smoothly. So definitely, I would definitely say a pen is going to be your best friend there. Let me speed this up. What are we doing here? Okay, I'm using numbing cream and also use Bactine extra strength instead of green soap while doing a tattoo. Yeah, that's not a bad way to go. If you want to use Bactine instead of green, I barely use green soap. I use distilled water like 99% of the time. So we'll go like a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half. And then, especially on like these backs, you go for about an hour or two, hour and a half. And then you want to let the person stretch for literally maybe a minute or two, get up, move around, and then we're right back at it. And I will use some green soap if I really need to clean it off real good. But most of the time it is just distilled water. The green soap irritates the skin. For not everybody, most people. Smoke, or is this Smoke? No, here we go. Wait, who the heck put this? Okay, LOL, for real. It's sad sometimes because it's like the toughest looking dudes who sit like little, I'll use the word babies. And you're right. It's some of the littlest girls who sit like like beasts. The number of women who have their armpits tattooed versus number of men is probably staggeringly different. I would never sit for an armpit tattoo. Insane. Yeah. You're jealous we got snow out here, Andy? Oh, man. Don't be jealous. Here, I don't have a ton. It's just that they weren't prepared for what we do have. Uptown, a little bit further, they got like a foot and a half. They lost power. Trees are down. Here, we got like 6 inches of snow. It's not even worth getting the tractor out and plowing. Oh, there you go. Look, there. Smoke's got tons for you. Negative 10 degrees outside. Good God, man. All right, let's find some questions. Have you ever had anyone pass down your tattoo chair? Yes, we went over that. Definitely. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading. CNC is Chinese. Yes. And I guess that was probably my biggest, but you want to take everything into consideration, like all of it. My biggest concern with having a link in any way, shape, or form, whether it's like testing machines or anything, is that I would prefer to support American-made products. The problem, though, is there's not a single American-made tattoo manufacturer. All tattoo needles, last I would just looked into it or was told, I don't remember which one it was that there's like 2 needle manufacturers, cartridge needle manufacturers, and they're in China. And so if you want to create your own brand, you just get with, I don't know the full process, but essentially you're getting one of these companies to make you what you want. And I think that's why you have EMALLA cartridges and you have quadrant cartridges. Why do they look identical? Well, probably because they're ordering the same exact product with little changes to them. I want a better steel. I want a better needle. I want a better plastic. I want this. I want that. So you get different levels and they produce them all. So there, I think we're kind of screwed when it comes to machines, even if, unfortunately, not all of them, but a lot of machines, all the parts are coming from China, and the best we're getting is manufactured in America. I'll take that. That's originally why I went with Bishop, because I felt I'd rather support some people here where I live. But at the end of the day, it's not huge, and too much of it is still hey, look at all that fur on my hoodie. Grateful. I have a dog. His name's Buck, and man, does he know how to shed. Anyhow, so yeah, CNC is Chinese. What we got here? Jason says, thanks for all your informative content, brother. Sent your characters to Facebook. I did see the notification from you, so I will check that out after the stream. And email. Nice. Appreciate you. My tattooing is getting better because of you. That's awesome, man. Really, really awesome. I always tell you guys, like I said earlier, if you make it to that level, man, where you're way up here, don't forget about me, all right? Come pick my butt up from Ohio and whatever, you know what I mean? Don't forget about me, man, when you guys make it. Let's see. Romeo, you asking a lot of questions, man, so I'm hitting them. What's the darkest black you can find without having a license? Without having a license? Bro, you can find anything you want without a license. You can find anything you want without a tattoo license. There may have been a time, but all you got to do is find. There are companies out there that you can buy anything you want. I've been looking for a good one, and a lot of places won't let me order them. Black ink? Places won't let you order black ink? Well, if you want a dark black ink, get Big Sleeps Black. I think it's like Bumblebee or something. Big Sleeps Bumblebee. I have some. It's thick. I don't use it all the time. In fact, I forgot about it for a while. I haven't used it. I better check. It might be expired, really. And then I might have to get rid of it. But yeah, that is a really black heels, super black. It's just thick. I'm not a big fan of like using it on the regular. I know people who do and I love it. So that would be my. But when you're looking for stuff, guys, there's plenty of different companies, different websites you can go through. You might pay a little more, this, that, or the other, but yeah, you'd be fine. Michael says, you have to be a jack of all, I believe. I believe that too, and I believe it's important to maybe be a jack of all for 5 years. Maybe more. Learn as much as you can. Learn to do as much as you can. Excuse me. If you're learning things on color, that stuff you're learning about that transitions over to black and gray. Black and gray stuff you're learning transitions over to color. Blah blah blah. So yeah, it's going to take time. I wouldn't be in a big rush to be like, oh, I got to be a black and gray artist. You can, but again, when bad times hit, you're a black and gray artist, and so you might only have this small pool to pull from. Where if you can do everything decent, you'll have a bigger pool. You might not have people flying in for that other stuff that you like to do, but you don't have to have people coming from all over the country in order to, be a decent tattoo artist or survive as a tattoo artist or make a decent living as a tattoo artist. But doesn't mean that you can't develop into that and be like, look, I'm to the point now. I'm not saying me, I'm just saying you might get to the point. Somebody could get to the point where you're like, I'm to the point now. I'm only doing black and gray. I have your clientele base is so wide and you have so many people like, I'm only doing this because I can. Not me. I can't. But maybe at some point I can, or maybe at some point you can. You can make those demands. And that's where you see those people going, I only do this. I do this one specific kind, or only do this. That's fine. If you have the supply to say that, then you can do that. But you need to build that supply up by being well-rounded. I think that's the one thing I do like about the show Ink Master is that they're looking for people who can do all of that, you know. So I think that's kind of cool. I still think that's cool, and you still find people that are like specialized in different stuff. Um, Especially when you listen to people after the fact, they go through the experience, they learn a whole lot as well. But that's some serious stuff. Okay. Example. Hi guys, I did a back piece yesterday and I got done with the outline and I'm wondering if it's fine to put numbing cream on a fresh tattoo while it's healing. Oh, I don't know that I've ever done that. Be honest, I don't think I have. I've never but I have seen people applying numbing cream mid tattoo. I don't know if that's good or not, but I've seen it happen. So again, I can't speak on it because I just don't know enough about that situation. Maybe somebody else here can. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Rodney says, I use dynamic triple black and order from Painful Pleasure. They don't require a tattoo license. There are several sites that don't require a license. The only main ones I've really seen are like Kingpin and then like a few other who are like demand a license and whatnot. For the most part, I haven't had that experience. Let me move so I'm actually not on. There we go. Here we're somewhat on camera now. All right. Again, this stuff playing is just something to have in the background, guys. You can see raw, unedited, like just tattooing. And nothing's perfect. So you can see it. Oh, wow. Okay. Dylan Walter says, your courses are awesome. It got me into tattooing, but unfortunately, we just had our apartments burnt down a few weeks ago and I lost all my stuff. So now I got to start all over and get a new equipment. Dang, man. Wow. So sorry, Dylan. That's like a worst case scenario. I'm glad that the course helped you out, man. I really am. And I thank you for supporting that cause. We donate that money. We really don't. It's not a lot of people doing it anymore. It's, so I've really kind of, let that go. And that's fine. I think it was good for a little while. We were able to raise some money for a little while there to help a good cause. So I appreciate you guys. What I am looking forward, what I'm looking to do moving forward with the channel is, and I don't know, I've been working on it. It's ready if I want to do it. I just don't know if I want to. But so what you're watching back here is just live tattooing. Retrieve has put together a site where it'll be behind a paywall, like $5-10 a month or something like that. And there's different categories, conversations, groups in this. Also, I would like to be doing a live stream for those viewers where we can go in more detail and break down a piece because there might only be like 20 people, So now we can spend some time and help that out. Also, I want to have a place where I can just post unedited live tattooing. You can spend 5 hours you want and watch that 5-hour tattoo, on YouTube. I might make a video out of it and it's 15 minutes. But anyhow, I want to provide more, but I can't do that here on YouTube because nobody cares to watch it. Nobody, nobody wants to sit there for 4 hours and watch a video, but some people do. And for those people, I want to give them a place to do that. And I want to share what I know. So anyhow, that's what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think. Is that something you'd be interested in? It's like, nah, I don't, I don't want to do it if nobody's down for it. Like, why? I don't want to waste my time. All right. Let's see. Mark says, my son-in-law asked why I never used numbing cream on him. And I told him, because you're my son-in-law. You don't rate the numbing cream. Nah, mother trucker. You're getting the full Monte of the pain. I've never used numbing cream personally. I may going forward because now we don't make fun of well, you can make fun of whatever you want. I believe we're missing that in the world these days. But we used to be like, oh, numbing cream, what are you, blah blah blah. Well, now it's like, oh, anesthesia. So now you're going under anesthesia. Now we can level that up. That can be where we're like, use a pansy going under anesthesia. I'm just using numbing cream. I'm a real man, So that'll probably eventually become the new like no numbing cream. I don't know. Hopefully this makes sense to some people what I'm trying to get across. Okay. Any suggestions on a new machine to start with this time and colors besides dynamic? Colors besides dynamic? Yeah, I mean, I use Eternal, Intense. I like both of those. White is Starbright, black is dynamic. Machines, of the ones I've used, you either got high end or you got, in my opinion, is going to be the CNC XW or the CNC Q2. I've used other cheaper models, but I still fall back on those ones. And when it comes to the higher end machines, I really love the ones. So there you go. That's my thoughts on it. What is this? May Allah rest the soul of. All right. What are we doing over here? I gotta keep watching this. I don't want to wipe around. Oh, okay. Let me find a better spot for you guys to watch this from. We took breaks here, and obviously I don't want you guys just to be stuck staring at a break. Yeah, and there were times where the camera wasn't even where I wanted it as well. So anyhow, I think I'll take you guys to where I start putting the white in all this. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's throw that up there. So we're putting white in the dubs and the little cross down there and whatnot in the beads. All right. So that's what's going on in the background. Now we can get back to what the heck we're doing. I need to get a hoodie. Bro, hook it up, man. Absolutely. Let me know. If you don't see a link in the description to my Shopify account, let me know. I'll put one down there. Nobody has to. I don't care. I just think it's cool that you guys decided that I should make a Fear the Beard hoodie just for fun, t-shirt, logo, whatever. And so it took me a while to get the time, but we put one together and it's finally available. Also, there's just some Death Punch Ink merch as well. We'll have t-shirts as also, but it's cold season, so those will come later. All right. Left Lane Trucker, thanks for all the help, Dave. You know what? No problem, man. And thank you for the tough skin. I know who you are, man. I remember we looked at your work and you've come around, man. I think you've come around to accepting that. All right. Let me listen to what's happening here. Let me take a step back, and I respect that. So thank you as well, man. Contrast. Oh, wait. I'm back up here. Boy, these are old. Why does it keep kicking me all the way back up here to the old comments? This is driving me nuts, man. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. It says, Alexander says, you used to need a license or anything until Element started up. Hell, if I could find something in the 90s before I found them. Yeah, they're nowadays it's different, you can find this stuff on Amazon, anywhere you want. It's available. Good, bad, who knows? Who's to say? But I mean, we sell power tools to people. They can cut the doggone fingers off, right? And it's like, oh, we shouldn't sell tattoo equipment to people. Well, we sell all kinds of crap. You know what I mean? Like, why do we have to dictate, oh, we can't sell this equipment because they might tattoo somebody? Okay, well, why don't you let them be a grown adult and make a decision themselves, make mistakes themselves? Why we don't have to govern these things? Again, like we sell circular saws, table saws. Well, who's to say he's not going to just jump on top of a circular saw? It hurts my brain that I don't know. Moving on. I think I already clicked on that one. What we got here? Shaders work well for thicker lines. Definitely watch the video on using a round shader to line with. There's a different technique to it for sure. There is absolutely. Machine angle, in my opinion, when it comes to round shaders is vital. You need to have the right machine angle. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am a Rapacy. I don't know what that. I don't know what that is, dude. All right, here we go. Somebody says I'm 100% wrong. I haven't read it. 3D Oneer? Who knows? You're 100% wrong about supporting China. T-Tech needles are made in Canada. Your deal is that Chinese affiliate money versus quality or integrity. Some Semper Fi. Oh, gosh. You got to love these people. Got to love them. They're like, oh, how you clearly just want money. Bro, if I wanted money, man, I would not be sitting here doing this right now. Believe me. Believe me, dude. You got to laugh it off, because if not, I mean, these people breed and make more people. I feel sorry for you. No. Okay, so T-Tech needles come from Canada, and what does that mean? What does that do for me? So I need to support them in Canada instead of even the good needles I love come from China. So what am I supposed to do? I just can't with some people. God bless you, brother. All right. Jason, there's a lot of letters. I kids Rob P. What is going on, Jason? Daughter? All right, thank you. Let's see, what do we got here? Shading depth. Okay. Gimme rage guitar. Shading depth still confuses me. So pretty much anything from 0 to 2 millimeters with the deeper, the more saturated. Or can you get saturation just brushing the skin? You, in my opinion, because everybody's, ready to jump at the thought of there being some sort of wrongness. Yeah, just brushing the skin is not really gonna do much. What you could do by brushing the skin, and this isn't completely wrong. So, like I said before, sometimes I will take a light tone and start shaping things out, shaping a face out, shaping whatever out, just so I can start to see tones in there. You could do that lightly, and if you can see that tone in the skin, then you can start to see a shape, and then you can really start pushing those needles in once you kind of start to see what you want, and then go for it, right? So you could brush the skin in the midst of tattooing in order to help yourself later on. I don't know why I'm off camera over here. Let me try to skedoodle this over. There we go. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Oh, it was really fun chatting with you. You gave insightful answers to my questions. Definitely some answers I didn't expect. Well, awesome, man. I'll just speak. I don't care about who, what, where, when, and why. I just speak. Wrong or right, my thoughts, opinions are just off of the small information that I have. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I think that you're being a diva, you're being a diva. That's it. But not you, man. I think you had a lot of great questions. Let's see. Tats feel good. Put me to sleep, and I love piercings too. Scared of shots and blood drawn. I don't know why, but tats and piercings, no problem. That is common, man. I really think that is common. I do have a lot of people that tell me, like, oh, I fall asleep during tattoos. I've never had a person even come close to falling asleep. They've closed their eyes maybe a little bit, but no one's fallen asleep. So that's cool if you really do fall asleep. And that definitely makes your life a lot easier. It makes the artist's life a lot easier too. If that was, you got hacked. Oh, okay. Man, that's I didn't know what was going on there, Jason. It was kind of like lost there, but I figured you seemed like a decent individual. Just gonna let it ride, man. See if you came back around. So sorry to hear you got hacked, man. Death Punch Inc. is a super cool name, dude. It's random. I like Five Finger Death Punch for like the most of you could probably figure that out. I turned my life around, found Jesus. So like Death Punch Inc. is kind of an interesting name, but it's with me now. So, not that it has to change because my life has changed in some way, but it doesn't quite reflect me. But at the same time, it's what I do, right? It's the name I came up with a while back, and I maintain it. But thanks, man. I'm glad you like it, Smoke. Pearl clutches, bro. Okay. Sorry, guys. I was hacked. No worries, man. I think I run better lines with a round shader as opposed to a liner. I agree. I really do like round shaders. Absolutely like them. Next question. Well, how do you get a license? That's this conversation. I just started tattooing and I just used a 12 9-round liner yesterday rather than my normal 3-round liner, and it was so much smoother. Why is that? It's a bigger needle grouping. That small needle is going to give you a small line. So if you want a small line, then use that small needle. The other thing too is that needle pierces the skin a lot quicker because it's smaller. That larger needle grouping is going to not pierce as quickly. It's pushing a little bit more mass as it goes in, and it shows less jiggle vibrations in your hand. Or if the larger the needle grouping, the less of that movement's going to transfer into the needle, which into the skin, if that makes sense. Oh, that's too bad. That's crazy. People can do that sort of thing. Yeah. The dude was posting comments or jokes about being a child molester. I blocked him. Right on, dude. I didn't know what that was. It was like a bunch of letters and then daughter. I thought it was him. So I thought, okay, he's clearly just having a moment here. I'll try not to even read them. So that's really crazy to know that's what's going on there. People twitch when they sleep. This one dude moved and put his head over where I was tattooing, and I was like, well, oh man, that sucks, dude. So you guys have people sleeping? Well, that must really be, hurting people then. Sweatshops. Keep supporting sweatshops. You lack integrity. Okay, brother. All right, man. Yeah, you don't know me to save your life. Yeah, it's cool name in backstory. Thank you, man. Let's see. I've watched you to learn most of what I know about tattooing, and it's given me the confidence to do some pretty good work so far. I'm very happy to hear that, Elma. Keep pushing yourself. That's part of the game. It's tricky though. You gotta know where you're at and know where you want to be and try and know how to get there by pushing yourself, but not taking on stuff you're not ready for. It's tricky. It really is. All right, let me drop this down, see if I can find you guys something less boring to watch. I don't know if we watch this. Here, I will let you guys. We're going to watch putting the white into the face because that's new. Okay. Whew. Let's see. What do we got? Glad to hear that, Melissa. Helping you get going. Awesome. I encourage you guys. That's really all the channel was, is I just shared my experiences when I was learning to tattoo, and I'm still learning to tattoo. I think if you think that you ever stop learning, that's going to be a problem. It's not like you pursue it in the same way. I'm not sitting there watching YouTube videos all day trying to learn. But every time you tattoo, you do something or you learn something or you see something happen or you experience and you're changing the way you're doing stuff. If you're just stuck and it's like, oh, that didn't work out, well, blah, 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 blah. Constantly got to morph. Every once in a while you try something, it's like, ooh, okay, back it off. Or wow, I really like that. That's with me forever now. So anyhow, again, getting off on on a tangent. Let's see. All right, let's see. What do we got here? One of the dudes who insisted he wanted to do GHB before getting tattooed. I don't know what that means. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna small down. We have a Canadian trucker convoy supporter or as I call them, Karen. Yeah, no, I'm totally about supporting you if you can keep it. I mean, maybe he doesn't hear my spiel about wanting to support anything here in the U.S. and the fact that the last I knew, everything was made in China when it came to the needles. So apparently T-Tech, I've never even used T-Tech. All right. But yeah, if you can support your country, do it. Absolutely. But unfortunately, there's nothing made in America when it comes to needles. There's some machines that are manufactured here and I use them. Imagine that. But because there's very few, what are you going to do? Gosh, just gotta love people. So self-righteous. All right. So it says, how can I send you the pics of before I did my research and after? What? I don't know that. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you're referring to. And thank you so much. On Sundays, we go live and we review, we take a look at your guys' work every Sunday, unless there's a holiday or something going on, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can send it to that email, armysomething@gmail.com, but you got to send it while we're live streaming on that day. And we'll check that stuff out. Okay. Boy, I'm just still boogieing here, guys. Well, we're at 2.5 hours. I can't go any longer than 3 hours, so we'll go a little bit longer. Let's see. It says, Henry Martinez says, I tattooed yesterday and I feel like the packing was good, but I feel like it was blending too much. Never have that problem. Never have that problem. I was running 6 volts and was at 13 mag. So you're running 6 volts, 13 mag, and you feel like the packing was good, but feel like it was bleeding too much. Bleeding too much. All right. Yeah, that could be the person. That could be the skin. Different people. Were they drinking the night before? Are they on, I'm not saying they're on blood thinners, but there's certain things. Are you going too aggressive? Where you can go, harder than you have to, and finding that depth that puts ink in without over traumatizing is also a thing as well. And it's hard for me to know what you're doing and to answer that and give you like a real healthy, good, honest answer what you could do. So I'm sorry about that. I tried to get an apprenticeship, but it hasn't been working. I can't find a good shop. I think that I'm at the point I just have to keep teaching myself and keep watching you. I understand that. I do understand that. And I know that some people may not. You need to find a shop. You need to find a shop. But, it's okay to hold out, in my opinion, for the shop, the apprenticeship that you're looking for. Maybe it doesn't exist. I mean, that's a thing too. Maybe. But yeah, if it's not hurting yourself and you're doing okay, teach yourself as much as you can. My opinion on that. All right. What else we got here? Smoke. That dude's worried he's giving money to China by buying that stuff from Canada. Yeah, I guess, man. I guess. Trust me, I am no China fan, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Never had that happen before. Very weird. Hey, I did send you your character, though. Yes, I did see a message come across by you on my phone. What stroke do you recommend for smooth black and gray? I run a 3.5 millimeter stroke for black and gray. That's because that's what the Bishop Wand shader runs at, and so that's what I use. I think I've pretty much shown you like all of this tattoo. There's really not much I haven't shown you, so we're gonna drop that out for now. And yeah, so now it's just my mug here, guys. I do apologize. So yeah, 3.5 millimeter for black and gray, and a soft hitting machine. And the Bishop Wand shader is a soft hitting machine. It's not super soft. It's just that it's a brushed motor. So by nature, the brushed motor is a weaker motor, which I learned and prefer. Let's see. Do you do anything to your lights? I find it frustrating when my light or lamp makes glares and I can't see what I'm doing and I have to move it around. Yeah. So here, like, I feel like a diva. I don't know how you guys are when I tattoo, because if like I'll have the chair out, boom, I'll have my roll around with all my, my setup on it. Then I'll have this red one over here for the client to put their stuff on that rolls around with them. And then you can't see it here, but there is a camera mounted onto the wall, onto a boom that kicks out and streams over to this computer so I can see what's happening. And then I have this light right here that goes over there and that light back there. So by the time it's done, it's like this whole operation. And it's overkill, but trying to record and get good lighting and everything else sometimes is a pain in the butt. So yeah, man, sometimes you just need more lighting. You need lighting in different angles, lighting over here, lighting here. It's frustrating sometimes. And if you're really in that boat, get a headlamp. And the first year I tattooed with a headlamp, and everywhere you look, you have good lighting. It's horrible for recording tattoos with, because it messes with the camera a lot. Art me something at gmail.com, Emma. If you go and go to my videos, or there should be, we do live streams every Sunday, and it's like what is tattoo critiques. If you go to any one of those videos, in the description of that, you will find a link. Wait, what is it? A link? Yeah, you'll see the email address. Wow, my brain's so off right now. Let's see. I just bought a lamp, so I hope I don't have that happen. Yeah. Let's see. I tried less needle, slower movement, but didn't make no difference. Could be the person, man. It could be the person's skin. Could be what they did. They might not tell you I was up all night getting hammered last night, because then you might send them away. Yeah. Andy B, yeah. Hey, Smoke, he used a head torch and found it to be much easier. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But again, when I'm recording footage, though, that headlamp, when I look over at my reference and I come back, it messes the camera's optics up. So, what we got here? Romeo says, I learned from you over the pandemic. After I learned nobody was taking new apprentices, I want to show you in the Sunday live thing. Can you explain that again? Yes. So on Sundays, me and Andy B, here, I'll pull him up right here. Bam, Andy B. We go live on Sundays. Andy's in the UK. I'm here in the United States, and we stream together. And so we go live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And during that live stream, there is an email address scrolling at the bottom of that screen. And once we go live, you can submit your work. So if you have like 3 tattoos you've done and you want to, that you really like, you want us to take a look at, maybe tell you how great you're doing, or say, hey, this, that, or the other, then email them in, but they have to be sent in during the live. So if you send them in now, I'm never going to see them. You have to send them in while we're live, and we go first come, first serve basis until we run out of time. Lately, we've been able to get to everybody at the last minute. By the time it ends, even if we push for a couple more minutes, we've been able to get to most. So that is that Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. All right. Good to see a lot of people using headlamps. I really, really liked using headlamps. There is no glare. You have light everywhere you look. And mine are rechargeable, and they hang. Where my head's got to go? They hang on. Good Lord. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to try. They hang on the thing over there, and they charge all the time. What is this? Interesting. What else we got here? We got some more emojis. I don't know. I think we're getting spammed. Melissa, Andy, what was the needle you said? Somebody's asking a question, Andy. All right, so I am going to go ahead and how do I? I think I have to go over to here. Sorry, guys, I'm just doing something right quick, and then we'll be back. We're getting rid of this clown here. Remove. All right. Well, actually, how do we do something else? There we go. Okay. So our 6mega.co, whoever this person is gone now. So we say goodbye to them. Goodbye. All right, guys. Unless you guys any more questions, I think that's pretty much all I have. We went for a lot longer than I planned to, and I gotta go. Excuse me. Hang on. Check with my wife. Like I said, we had a cancellation today, so I have this time on my hands. I normally wouldn't have had, so I figured we'll go live. Also, usually every year for my wife's birthday, she gets a new tattoo, and I'm thinking I might be able to get that done sooner than later. Her birthday's next month, since I have this time today. So I'll see if she has a tattoo designed and ready that she would like. If she does, then we'll come on down and we will set up for that tattoo and potentially go live for that as well. I'm not sure yet. So anyhow, just throwing that out there. In the event you see another ding come up for a live stream, that might be us doing that. You are welcome, Romeo Reyes. I'm glad that I can share anything I have with you guys. I'm happy to. I definitely not a fan of keeping information, because, even if you can tell somebody everything you do to the exact T, It won't. It's not like you're giving everything. People still have to put in work. People still have to try. You still have to practice. Um, so yeah. Andy B says tattooing the boss lady. Yes, we may be tattooing the boss lady. I have to go see her and see what she's doing, see if she's interested, what have you, because that would be nice to do. Guys, did you enjoy this kind of setup? Did you enjoy a Q&A occasionally? I could see, when I have time doing this, I could throw some live tattooing up, footage, some raw footage that I have anytime. And that way you guys got something to look at while we're talking. If that's something that you like, let me know. I'll make sure I incorporate it. I truly enjoy making videos, but sometimes I guess I feel like I don't know what to make anymore, because I feel like I've shared almost everything I can share as far as how to tattoo. I could remake some old videos, which could be helpful, but at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe I will if that's something you guys are interested in. But nonetheless, these lives don't take me hours to edit. I can get a lot of information across to the people who really want to know, and might not be the masses, but to the people. Let me know, would you guys be interested in going further in depth behind a paywall? If not, I don't want to do that. If that's not what you guys are interested in, behind the paywall would be more, right? More intimate live streams. I say intimate, that's not some gross stuff. I mean, we can actually like take a look at your work, diagnose it a little bit. It's going to be a small group. I would imagine it wouldn't be a ton of people interested, but maybe 20, 30 people. And we can post some live stuff. We can have conversations. But I don't want to do that if there's not a need for it. Why bother, right? So anyhow, well, thank you, Emma. This was really informative. It was more personal than just watching a video. Good. I'm glad. And Romeo, you second that. That's awesome. I second Emma. Og feels a lot more personal and way better than the regular videos. Good. I'm glad. I know I keep repeating myself, but that's cool, man. All right. If there is any, let me hit my scroller. My scroller's not working. There we go. All right. Oh, somebody else says something here. Let me read. I'm just going to read. We're going to be getting off here real shortly, guys. I apologize. I'm just kind of going through these last few statements. I'm into the site you want to make 100%. Oh, awesome, Smoke. I genuinely appreciate all your support. There's a handful of you guys that have been really, really supportive, and I truly appreciate that. I say that a lot, and I feel like it comes across as it gets kind of muddied down, but I mean it when I say it. All right. Melissa agrees. Okay, cool. Would be great if you could make a video about mag needle depth, because all videos I see are about depth with the liner. I could do a needle depth video. The struggle there is the hardest thing to try to explain, because you're never going to know how deep to put those needles. There's no way you can like mark. There's no way you can really measure. I know people try to tell you there is, and I know they try to tell you that, go 2 millimeters, yada, yada. It's a feel thing. It's a practice thing. It's seeing how deep do I have to go to get this needle to give me the result I want. And then figuring that out. But you might learn that on the leg and then realize that in another spot, oh crap, that exact thing doesn't work. Trial and error. That's why, work out details on fake skin. You might not work out needle depth per se on fake skin, but you're going to work out a ton of other things. So by the time you go to real skin, you're not worried about all those other things and needle depth. You only worry about needle depth and maybe a couple other little things, right? So we try to mitigate a lot of those questions, a lot of those, why is, how thick does this line look, blah, blah, blah. You get it. So I could try, but I don't know that you're going to walk away from it going, But thank you, AZ. That's why I need to know what people are, where you guys are struggling. To be honest, you're a great teacher. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. I really do. This has been awesome. Thank you. You are very welcome. Totally would go through the paywall. Okay, cool. There's a few people. Like I said, it's set up. I just got to spend a little bit more time in the back end and get things ready. And then, we put that out there. There's just so many subscriptions these days. I'm like, who the heck wants to do another one? But it's really the only way I can. So everything takes time. Time is money. You guys get the spiel. I don't make anything off these. I truly enjoy these, truth be told. But in order for me to do and help people long term, I have to get some sort of residual payment for your time. Does that make sense? And I know Mr. Karen over there thinks, that if you make $1 off anything, then you're obviously a communist or something. So what I'm trying to say though is, yes, I have to put it behind a paywall. And if nobody wants to be there, I'm fine with it. But if people do, also, that's fine. Forgot where I was going with that. So let's just keep moving along. Q&As are very helpful. Anyone want to make a, what did it say? Anyone want to make a buck to regurgitate and repeat the arts though? Shaking my head. Q&As are very helpful. Very helpful. Everyone want to make, yeah, it's true. And I don't want to do it unless people want me to, because then I just feel dirty. You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? And then you have to be prepared as a person putting this out. I have to be prepared to invest time into it. And so I had to let the one company, they put it together for me. And I'm like, look, I'm not ready right now. I got too much stuff going on. There might come a time. So that's why I'm just kind of keep putting feelers out there, because eventually I need to make sure that I have the time to invest, yada, yada. Hopefully that makes sense. What do we got here? Thanks, bro. Really appreciate your hard work. It really helps. And the chat is great also. Thanks, guys. Absolutely. Shout out to Andy B. Right on, Andy and the crew being in the chat, helping people out. You're going to learn a lot from the people there who are saying, I like this, I don't like that, try this out, And Andy B shouting him back out. Right on. Andy B does have an Instagram. I got you, Andy. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, Andy. Bam. Oh, wait. I got to get rid of that first. Hang on. Ah, crap. Hang on. Oh, I hit the button again. This is painful. There we go. See the Andy after the Death Punching. Andy IG. There's Andy over there. All right. Very helpful. Thanks. Andy B. Paywall. I'll feel you smoke. Let's do it, man. Yeah, Mr. Karen. There's always a Karen. There's always a keyboard warrior. Andy B, you have a YouTube channel. We're trying to get Andy B to get a YouTube channel just so we can support him. You know what I mean? Do you have any tips for people who are trying to create a portfolio? Do what you love, make that the primary part, but also show that you can do some other stuff as well. Because depending on where you're going, they might be like, that's really cool. You're really good at that. But unfortunately, like, we do a lot of everything here. And the biggest thing to bring somebody on, if they know nothing, is you're going to invest time into them. So I want to make sure that you're an artist first. You don't have to be world renowned or anything. I just want to make sure that you're an artist. You can make good work, because at the point at which you know how to do all this stuff in tattooing, it all comes down to your art ability. If you might be able to do this, right, in drawing, but in tattooing, you're still learning all this. But there will come a time, years, months, who knows how long, where you can do all the tattooing stuff and you're here. But this spot where you're stuck at is your art ability, your drawing ability, your shading ability, your color ability. You have to push that and your tattooing will grow with it at that point, right? So I want somebody who, at the end of the day, is an artist, because I can teach you everything, but I can't sit here and instill shading and, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Luke Fisher. Luke says, honestly, the paywall would be cool, but I don't think another subscription service is needed. But it would be cool to have like a paid version of a more classroom-like setting. It would help me learn. That's cool. And see, the other thing about there as well is you can make videos for that group of people, live streams for that group of people, live tattooing. Sometimes I don't know what to do with this footage. I record a lot of stuff and I don't have time to edit it up. I could just throw it into the live section. So you want to jump on there and go to live, you can just sit there and like we did today in the background, watch tattoo. You can sit there and be like, man, you suck, or great. Well, it doesn't matter. It's there. Those are the kind of things that I can't do on YouTube because nobody would watch it, and there'd be no return on investment. And I mean, again, nobody's trying to get rich, believe me, but I can't justify doing some of this stuff if there's nothing coming back. You just can't. It's like, all right, I have to let all of that go, and I don't want to. And this is my hope, to allow me to continue doing what I love to do by helping you guys. But I understand some people aren't going to understand, and I get it. It's totally fine, but I'm trying to be transparent. All right. Have you ever used? No, I've never used an Econ machine. All right. What do we got here? Zucker says, I'm so happy to see you today. Yesterday, I had a frustrating day at the studio. All pros are so hard to give some compliments to the work I did. It's all about the mistakes. You have to be able to take that. You have to be able to take the mistakes. I know what you're talking about. I do. It's part of learning. Sometimes you have to decide whether someone's truly, and it's going to be hard, being an a-hole, or if they're really just trying to point stuff out, because we can point stuff out forever, always and forever. I will always point stuff out in my own work that I hate. So that is tough. Take that and try to keep going, especially in the beginning when you feel really proud about what you're doing and someone says, oh, that, and you're like, what? I'm sorry. I am sorry to hear about your situation. Mark says, Andy B and Dave, thank you. Facts. True. Smoke says, I used to use my YouTube to post created wrestlers on WWE games. I used to spend hours making Chucky, Jason, and Freddy, and then go beat up people who used to use John Cena. But now I only use it to learn tattooing. Smoke, where were these videos? Do you still have these videos? Are they still available? That sounds extremely entertaining, man. I didn't know you was a jack of so many trades, man. Time is money. It is. But again, just like in pricing your tattoos, there has to be a balance. Just like when it comes to the 70-30 split for artists, there has to be a balance. And you have to take care of your clients. You have to take care of your artists. And the same when it comes to the time. Let me just break this down for you guys. Because again, I know there's a few. Most of you guys understand. If there's 30 of us, right, and it's $10 a month, that's $300, right? It's like, okay, $300 a month. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, but I guarantee on my life, I will have at least 8 hours a week. At least. This is not a lot of time, period. 8 hours a week invested in this. So 8 times 4, you do the math. Divided by 300. What is that? Nothing. I could do one tattoo and easily one 3-hour session and make that, right? So again, when it comes to money, it's not about it. It's just about, it has to be something, right? Or I can't justify it at all. When I tell my wife, oh, I'm going to go work on a thing. Why? Okay. That's really where it comes down to. Justification for time and energy. I hope that makes sense. And anyhow, so guys, we are 2 minutes away from it in 3 hours. So we're just going to wait around for 2 minutes, and then we're going to jump off of here. Did you ever get some clients that were fans of your YouTube videos and kind of learned to tattoo because of you? Yes, several. It took me a while to accept people coming from the YouTube channel to come get tattooed. Not enough to not a lot. I think maybe 8. Some people didn't even realize that I was in their backyard, Not literally, I'm not creeping in their backyard, but I'm in their area. Other people were like, holy crap, you're only 3 or 4 hours away from me. I'd love to, because to some people, they're not coming here because man, Dave's so fantastic. I'm going to drive over there 4 hours to get, it's an experience, right? People see you, they learn. Some people have learned. So it's an experience. Let me go meet them. Let me go get tattooed, right? It's a decent tattoo, a decent price, a cool experience. You can see my little private operation here. I have given, when people come, man, I've given people tattoo machines. I've given them custom made armrests. I literally give people stuff all the time when they come. I just want, if I'm not using it, have it, right? So it's always cool when people come. It used to be very nerve-wracking, but now I just embrace it. I'm just tattooing. You see what my work looks like. You want to come and get tattooed by me? Fine. This is what I do. You already know that. But before it was like, what do I do? What do I do? Just make tattoos. Hopefully that makes sense as well. Here we go again. I'm never gonna get off here. What state are you in? I'm in Ohio. Ohio. What do you think about tattooing at home when doing it properly with sanitizer? I think it's totally fine. Totally fine. 99%. Well, I better not get too crazy, and then the Warriors will get me. I'd say probably 80% of people probably learned at home. I mean, well, 80% of the people I see, like the names you see, you might see them on Ink Mag, and this, that, and the other. When they ask them, funny enough, in my mom's basement, my mom's the first one tattooed. It's like they're all telling you they learned on their own at home. Eventually, they got an apprenticeship, or eventually their friend worked in a shop and they got in there. But all started, most of them, at home. And I know that now that they understand how things are, they go, don't learn at home, get an apprenticeship, blah, blah, blah. And it's easy to say these things, and I understand where they're coming from. But that's not the world right now. It's people aren't taking on apprentices, right? I mean, they're not. The economy's bad. So, yeah, I think it's totally fine. If you're doing things truly properly, to the best of your ability, you're not hurting anybody. Watch our live streams on Sundays. I'm not saying this because I need you to watch. I'm just telling you, we talk about this stuff. We talk about, hey, don't tattoo. You shouldn't be. You should be. This, that, and the other. Figure out what's going on. All right. Oh my goodness. What do we got? I'm not saying, oh my God. I pay for my song mix review. You are not wrong to be paid for your reviews. Musician / tattooer. I pay for my song mix review. You are not wrong to be paid for your reviews. I don't get paid for my reviews. If you guys think I do, nobody pays me. Nobody has ever paid me for a review on anything. Usually it's like you can keep the machine, but if you follow the channel, I pretty much have given every machine I've gotten away. Anytime they send me a machine, they're like, hey, you can keep it. One time they gave me 2. I gave it to a shop. About half an hour from here. I gave one of them to them. It was a Bronc. But I gave them away. I have kept that CNC machine because it's near and dear to my heart, and I gave my original one away like a year or 2 ago. So now I have one again. I'm going to keep that. There's a couple machines I will keep, but I've given most everything away. So I've never been paid for it. I guess there will be sometimes there will be a link, right? So I get a link, I get an affiliation, but believe me, I'll spend hours making a video. Maybe 2 or 3 people might purchase that machine. 10% of $150 is like $12. So you might make like $20, $30 maybe. So again, it's not about money, right? It's a love. But anyhow, I do know what you're saying though, man, and I appreciate you sharing that. Let's see. X Smoke changed his online gaming life, quit running an online clan, and took up tattooing. It's much calmer, and there's no noobs except myself. Right on, bro. Right on. All about memories. True. Right. I don't know who he's asking. Isaac, are you asking me what my IG is? I know people talk to each other in the chat. If so, it's right here. It's on screen. It says Dave IG at DaveInks.88, Facebook Death Punch Inc. All right, guys. Whew. We have been going for 3 hours and 3 minutes. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate all the questions. I had a fantastic time here. And until next time, guys, and keep in mind, we might actually be live streaming some tattooing here in a little bit. I'm not sure, but just so you understand. Andy, what? I thought YouTube was made you a millionaire. I was self-made millionaire, baby. No, millionaire, no. It's a mortgage or all the normal stuff. YouTube, I paid a small creators like myself diddly, guys, and YouTube's changed now, so views are like not even a thing. Oh, you caught it late, Isaac. No problem, man. You go back and watch it. It was a fantastic time, man. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next. Also, one last thing. Okay, I know I keep doing this, but one last thing, guys. I will be in Texas in December. Around the Christmas time, a little before, a little after. If anybody's around that local area, works in a tattoo shop in the Texas, I know Texas is huge. We'll get more information about this later. I'll get more details, but I'd love to come visit somebody in a shop in Texas, get to meet you guys, maybe do a video or something, just something fun. But so if you know anybody are in Texas, let me know. I will let you guys know more specifically where I will be in Texas, like the general location, because it would be fantastic to take a day and go bop to a few of you guys' shops and, you know what I mean? Meet some people. It's just what I care about. So, all right, guys, until next time, everybody, love y'all. Peace.